I think we'll just see those, drums, Vlads, I don't know, mech, whatever you need. Whatever the team needs, the Luna can buy. There's no requirement for the Luna to dish out damage here, especially not physical damage. You've got Drown, Morphling. Those heroes are going to be your damage dealers if that's your 1 and your 2.
Oh no, Yapsu's not smiling.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's just kind of...
They're in serious mode.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, this is LGD. They're spooked. And, hey, speaking of which, we have seen a lot of Ame Naga Siren, and here she is again. So,
it's team fight wombo combo.
Yeah.
Naga, Phoenix, Sand King, they see these secret heroes and they're like, that looks a bit greedy. That also looks like there's no team fight on Team Secret side. Let's try and punish this. But LGD needs something to actually take objectives. They have no Roche Taker, no Building Hitter. That to me is the big concern when I see these LGD heroes.
Yeah, they have no wave clear either, and Secret are poised to just obliterate structures. Even just Drow Ranger and Morphling alone would be able to do that. You toss Luna into the mix.
But I think for LGD that's okay for them because they can defend towers. Like if you're going to go 4 or 5 men down a tower, that's what LGD almost wants because then you're giving them that big team fight.
True, but they seem a little bit more hampered by cooldowns. Whereas Secret, like, they don't even need a creep wave half the time. They'll just have a Drow Ranger sieging it away from a distance. Whereas LGD, like, they need time to reset after a siege, especially if it's like a full committed defense.
You know, people say this a lot on these panels, but Team Secret's draft literally does look like a legend pub right now. It's just so many carries, one very, very stressed out Tusk. What are we missing on Team Secret's draft? Is it? Oh, what? Yeah. Putka, show Yaps for place, please.
I love these guys.
He's not smiling and laughing.
All right, so
they played Pudge.
Zai played Pudge earlier in the tournament. So I'm thinking 3 Pudge, 4 Luna, 5 Tusk, 1 Drow, and 2 Morph.
My goodness gracious.
Well, Niche is normally the more. I mean, in terms of farm priority, Niche would normally play the Morph, mid 1 Drow.
Right. But mid lane would be Morphling?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
I'd agree with that.
If
Possibly depends on the matchup what LGD
That's true,
here.
because they are holding on. They have 3 seconds.
They have 1 second.
What? Where
that right?
I mean, that gives you damage, like as far as killing heroes, but does not give you any way to take objectives. They're all in on just team fighting, and this is some crazy wonky drafts coming out.
All right, we are in Mind Game Central, boys. We're so far deep into the game, I don't even know what game we're playing anymore.
It's too early in the morning for this.
Gods, any ideas about this draft? Who do you think has an advantage if you can guess anything at all?
No.
No?
Got nothing.
Hey, that's all right,
On to
Gods.
Tsunami.
All right. Tsunami, what do we got, buddy?
Yes.
What are you feeling? You called the secret draft.
That doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Talk to me, bro.
I got nothing.
Awful analysts. What are you guys doing to me up here? Well, gentlemen, our analysts, highest thinkers in Dota, how are they supposed to understand a draft that very much looks like it's made in a Legend 2 pub? We will find out soon, however, as our casters will walk us through a very exciting game. Hope you're ready for some Pudge. Hope you're ready for some support Luna. Let's get it into the game with Capitalist and Blitz.
Forget the build-up, forget the storylines, forget everything that sets up this epic match between Secret and LGD, and let's just talk about this crazy-ass draft from Team Secret. Blitz, we've seen some of this before. We've seen 4-position Luna, specifically from Secret before. We've seen, the synergy between Drow Ranger and heroes like Morphling. We've even seen 3-position Pudge, but all of this in one draft seems... it seems like Puppy's throwing every little tiny trick he's learned in his pubs all into one weird scenario.
I think the draft actually makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they needed a save and a frontliner. They got 2 of those in the Tusk and the Pudge. Like, people think of Pudge, I think, incorrectly. Like, they still think of it as, like, a troll hero.
Yep.
because it was for the first like 3 years of Dota, right? It was such a niche pick where only Dendi really did it. But I mean, it's a legit hero. It does a lot. The new Flesh Heap is so good.
So strong.
You start out, you're just Dragon's Blood. You have 5 HP regen just to begin the game. Like, stuff like that, I think is really interesting about the hero. And people really forget that all the time.
Yeah, we've seen, of late, it is kind of come into vogue that people are running these pudges, mid. We've seen offlane pudge. I'm actually kind of a fan of the offlane pudge because I think it, like, as a 2 position, the farm doesn't really go to work, I would say, on a pudge. But as a 3 position, like, 3 is just that nice split between you get good amount of experience and you do get a little gold. So you're going to get some mid-game items that are useful, but you're not taking over, like, a 2 position slot where, is kind of meant to scale and escalate later on to the game.
I think the idea behind it is, like, you have a Luna. She's going to give the Dro just good aura. Her ult's going to work as, like, a backliner where if you get close, she's just going to pop Eclipse and try to set, like, the field for mid one. And it just makes it hard for LGD to just, like, hard commit into that. Plus, like, the hook is just a natural save. You have somebody that can get in there and, like, find the Bat Rider for you. And if he gets the ulti off, it's like a worse version of ENG in a way.
We should talk. The Luna gives incredible synergy to every single one of these heroes.
Yeah.
Tsunami correctly pointed out the feedback loop that we're going to be having with the Luna being able to give the more primary attribute to this Drone Ranger, which is turn going to be able to help everyone else out. Morphling, who has a high percentage base damage already, is just going to feel that increase even more being around that Luna. And Tusk, who has a percentage-based ultimate damage based off of his base damage, or based off of his damage, rather, that obviously is going to help him out too. And Pudge is another big one.
Yeah. I mean, Pudge, in this lane at least, I think it's like a free-ish lane for him. Zai should be able to just farm, and he's doing exactly that.
Yeah.
7 CS already, has already picked up the level of Flesh Heap, which, by the way, in pubs, like, if you're playing this style of Pudge, guys, this is what you do.
Yeah, don't go Hook. Hook's a meme.
Oh, man.
In lane, you don't need it.
Right now, this lane mid is not going
He's getting worked.
Yeah, he is.
11-3 compared to Nisha's 4-0.
I think it's because Morph, you typically want to stay at as low of HP as possible. And Batrider doesn't mind that. He's like, I'll stick you 3 times, I hit you once, and all of a sudden you've got 100 health. And that's exactly what's happening right now, is that Nisha's just getting bullied.
And what little CS he is getting is all being funneled into getting himself more regen so he can actually go back to lane. But we can see Nisha, that regen may not be enough here as he's going to be chased down by the Bat Rider and he's dead. Just like that, and it's going to be first blood. LGD.
I think this lane is pretty impossible for him to play.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk nearly enough about LGD's lineup. Because I feel like LGD's lineup, you're essentially going all in on a single core Naga, but you have a lot of good backup. Like, if you're ever going to do single core, by the way, in your drafts, you have to fulfill 2 conditions. It's like, one, you have to make sure that, like, the Naga isn't challenged in terms of late game supremacy, which I think in this game it's a very good Naga game. And the second condition is you need lots of control on your team to make it work. Because if you're going to have, like, the single core that just does nothing but farm and you're going to devote all the farm to her, you need to make sure that the other heroes on your team can play this like 4 protect 1 sort of strategy where they can fight without you if need be, and more importantly, they can help you put out your damage.
Yeah, if you've got one hero and that's the only hero you have to kite, and it's the only hero that puts out damage for you, you better make sure that you have the stunts necessary to make sure that hero is able to actually get that damage in rather than just being kited the entire time.
Yeah, and that's why like these kinds of teamfight lineups often falter because that's all they can do. Like, at some point, you're going to lose out as the game progresses on, but the reason why I think LGD's lineup is quite nice, too, is because I feel like they can always fight, and they do have a late-game condition.
Yeah. Bane going to be in some trouble here. X-Nova, nice! That was a beautiful setup from Chalice, who walked downwards to specifically make sure he got the double stun on Yapzor as well. The sleep is going to be able to stop that TP away. They're going to lead him sleep to make sure they get enough damage out of X-Nova. Now the flyby coming in from the Phoenix doesn't actually hit the Tusk, but they don't need him. It looks like they're just going to leave it to X-Nova to get that kill. The double damage on FY now starts putting its work to Midwan, forcing him back as well.
Courier going to respawn, as we saw maybe, by the way. He made his way all the way to the secret shop, just so that he could pick up his bottle. Still absolutely crushing mid, though. And I think Nisha, I mean, this is not a comfortable lane for him whatsoever. The good news is that his other two cores are doing quite well.
Yeah.
Like, Zai just completely leads the game right now with 31 CS. We talked about how Pudge is most likely going to have a free lane as he does get the hook off on Ame, which will at least secure him this bottom bounty rune.
The other one, because Ame did not TP all the way back to base, he just TP'd to the tower, he'll be able to grab that. So even on bounty runes so far.
Yeah, you see the frustration build right now for Nisha is every single time he gets more than 3 stacks, he just has to wait for him away. As
fortunately, he's got this medium camp to play off of at times. Though you could see X-Nova knows that Nisha is taking advantage of that camp and is going to try and shut down that small radiant advantage as best he can.
I think he's going to maybe put a ward behind the tower too.
Yeah, looks like it. What do you think that is? Is it just because the Bat Rider's owning the lane so much, so they need to see the rotations?
Maybe he puts the one up on the high ground. You know,
Ooh, Chalice, good burrow strike into the trees. Really waited that out until the snowball actually hit him. That way he couldn't be pursued.
The hill would be really good too. Because the hill spots, it has the same effect anyways, because it spots the mid lane rotation from the 2 supports, and they know that at some point Nisha's going to complain and be like, guys, somebody has to come over and help me out.
Drone Ranger's one of those great heroes where you just support him at the start, and then he gets strong enough to take on any 1v1. Chase down, does manage to get the lasso in the mid lane where the Morphling is in some trouble. Waveforms to the side to try and get more CS. Fortunately, because he's level 6 and he's got 2 health bars to work with here, that he can actually just chase away that maybe Bat Rider. Chalice going to go for it here as FY follows up with the Fire Spirits. They sleep the Tusk and just continue to focus on mid 1 as best as possible, pressuring this core, track him inside with the shards. That was a beautiful play from the rest of LGD as I realize I'm talking about Puppey missing his shards. It's early in the morning. What can you say?
Puppey helped out in the gank. Not the way that he wanted to, but
yeah.
somebody got a kill.
Somebody did indeed. That's another assist for Puppey. 3-0. Team Secret yet to be able to pick up a kill.
Oh, you see Zai already, by the way, TPing to the top lane. I think they're going to make the lane swap.
And that's where that vision is going to be very important.
Yeah. That's such a smart ward by, like the way that he placed it too, it's very unlikely that they know that it's up there. Because they would have thought to themselves like, well, how did he get up there? He went all the way around. As Zai, I mean, they should know about this mid move. They did have the ward there, and Ame's just going to push out the lane. They're going to spot Puppey here, and this should
Zai
be a kill.
He's actually going to go for the hook here and let LGD know that he's there, but I'm not sure if he actually wants that because there's 4 heroes from LGD. No matter how big you are, Zai, maybe he is too big. Look at him. He takes about half his health from all of that. LGD just don't have the power to be able to bring him down quickly, even though he was pretty much trapped.
Yeah, and the dive has been committed by the Phoenix, so he does have to be careful.
And look at him. He's already back up. This is the power of the Flesh Heap. You max that out early. He got 1 level of hook because now he's coming online and wants to run around and do things. But this Flesh Heap giving him so much reach, and it played out in the combat. Now he can just go right back to looking for kills. He's going to be able to get in the top lane. Chalice pulled in by the hook. Goes for the Sandstorm, but they have the vision. Fortunately, he has the Burrow Strike to be able to jump to the other side of the trees. And because it's a level 1 hook, it's a long cooldown. Zai will not so easily be able to catch Chalice unless he just runs him down underneath the trees. Yapstor stuns him for a second. Chalice did not expect that at all. He didn't expect Zai to just run at him like that.
Yeah, and Zai
He's going to go for more? Is he really? No, there's not the range. He doesn't have it.
Chalice was like, it's one of those moves. You ever play a pub game where they're still chasing you?
Yeah.
And you're wondering why? Because you have an escape ability? And you're like, what are you idiots doing? And then they end up catching up and killing you. That's exactly what happened. I genuinely don't think that he thought there was any way he was going to die. He's like, oh, well, they've blown their hook.
Yeah.
Then Zai just kind of ran at him and he died. And they're going to do the same right now to the Phoenix. They know that the dive is on a cooldown. This should be another Flesh Heap.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yep. That's another Flesh Heap stack added. He's already up to 2. He's got 4 bonus strength, 11 HP regen a second. And they're even going to find X-Nova down here.
Brain Sap to give him a little health. Nisha waiting to take the kill because he needs he needs that gold. He had a rough time in the landing phase. He's actually come back, though. Look at the CS, 54-6.
That's the best part about Morphling is that no matter what, with just treads, these two Wraith bands, you're going to farm the jungle so quick.
Yeah.
Plus, the Drow Precision R is not bad at all. At this point, it's like a free Gloves of Haste. It's like 2 free Gloves of Haste. It's actually 40.
Bat Rider flies on in, runs right into a punch. This is that front liner. Look at that. That tough snowball dodging the burrow strike. They're still going to try and chase down maybe here, but they're slowed down by the Phoenix.
Nisha's hasted.
Oh, that's not the hook you wanted. Fortunately, he still has the Icarus dive. Gets the Fire Spirits onto Maybe. Maybe's ticking out bit by bit here. Nisha will ensure the kill here. FY still being chased down by Zai as well. These heroes are just too tanky to fight into right now. And it's showing. LGD, with all of, we talked about they have this team fight and stuff. When it comes to these skirmishes, though, this early on to the game, their nukes are not powerful enough to be able to deal with these heroes. They're going to try and go for the Luna here, but the hook in, it's going to be able to pull him away. That epicenter is useless, and Zai is just going to stay inside the Sandstorm because he knows he can take the rot damage and the Sandstorm's damage and still outdo Chalice here, who's just kind of biding his time.
Look at Puppy. Just staying right on him, and I think Chalice knows.
Got the TP.
Oh.
They spotted him for a moment, but they did not have the disable.
And you see Yapzor. Like, the best part about this strategy is the Luna he can pick up farm. He's got 3 levels of the Blessing, and that is reflected in the fact that Yapzor at 11 minutes has a Vlad's completed.
Jesus. And that's just one more thing where your primary attributes that you're getting increased from the Luna, from the Flesh Heap, from everything else that's going on in this game, that Vlad's is all the more effective. Same goes for the Morphling, right?
And something about the way that Secret plays like really enables this. It's the fact that Zai plays more like a second 4. It's like him and Yapzor sort of share that 3 position role. And it's sort of like that idea of positionless Dota. You know, Puppy always said, like, you know, I don't play 2, 5, or 4, I play Dota. And that's always been, I think, his core concept of making sure that everyone can be enabled at some point, including himself.
Speaking of Puppy, he is in trouble here. Snowballs at the last second, knowing that he's just going to be pulled deeper back in, but it is at least going to force LGD a little bit more time out of them.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds me the way you're talking about Secret is the way we watched OpenAI play, where there wasn't that dedicated 5 position. It was like everybody was going to be able to get farm and have items, because
I mean, they played 4,000 years of Dota and beat OG.
Yeah.
I trust them. They know what's up. And it's, for a lot of people, I think it'd be like a symbiotic relationship, but I think for Secret, it's incredibly synergistic. Like, the way that they do it, it just helps out both ends. Like, Zai gets a lot of farm, and he's just naturally a playmaker. He was a previous 4 player himself, and he joins his team, and he's like, well, I can kind of still play 4. I'll get a little bit more farm, at least to start the lane, but
it's like the way you talked about Crow saying, like, somebody's got to have a bad game, except for with Secret, it's like Zai saying, yeah, I'm momentarily going to have, quote-unquote, a bad game. I'm not going to just keep farming, but it's going to elevate my 4 positions game, and my 4 position is then going to elevate my game as well. If I give Yapzor some farm, he's going to help me get some kills, and then we're both going to be rich. We're both going to be cool.
It's one of those things where, like, you might not individually look the best, but what you're probably doing is giving your team the best chance of winning, which at the end of the day, as a Dota competitor, that should be all you care about. Because I know a lot of people that care about stats and stuff.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, oh, did I have a good game? But, like, there's some stuff that you don't really see on the scoreboard. And conversely, on the side of LGD, Ame has just been given, like, you know, power farm. They're all in on this concept.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the complete opposite of Secret, where the farm distribution is very split. On LGD, it's just Ame, you're the Naga. Like we talked about earlier on in the game, you're going to make sure that this game is won for us. We have a lot of team fight. That's the best part about their lineup is no matter, even if they're down like 5k gold, they have so many stuns, they have so many disables, they have good AoE that it's not going to hurt them that bad. They have a way to always go through BKB with the Bane Fiend's Grip, and
LGD going to read this? They're not. The hook goes out. Burrow Strike immediately. Chalice is still going to be chased by this snowball, blocked in by the Ice Shards as well. Do they have the vision? What is with Secret not having the vision to deal with this Sand King? All right, he's just going to walk away. Burrow Strikes out as well. And really good defensive positioning there by LGD. You said You know, they kind of have to be able to take fights, or at least not get caught in bad engagements as this 4-man while they buy Ame all this time.
Yeah, like I'm down for, you know, splitting the farm and stuff, but like somebody just buy Dust. That's like twice now. I don't want to call anybody out.
Isn't that like directly the concept of like, if I invest the gold now, it'll pay back twofold?
Dude, yeah.
If I just buy the Dust now, we'll get the Sand King kill and it'll be worth it for everyone?
Let me just tell you, my man Yapsor built up 1,200 gold, and then he's like, you know what, I'll get a Dust. All right. Like, Puppy's got 92 gold, man. Come on. Just, you can pick up 1 pack of Dust. And he does indeed for his team, as he already has a point booster.
Oh, look at that. LGD, big advantage of the bounty rune, says it was even for 5 minutes. Bro strike on to Zide. Look at how tanky he is, though. And the damage is ticking on a challenge. Fortunately, he managed to dodge that meat hook coming out.
He's
and now they're going to fly away from the Supernova, not trying to protect it at all.
And the flying Morphling looks so unbelievably ridiculous, by the way, when he switches back. It looks like he's just gliding on him. Also, how incredibly fast does he attack, man? When he goes full agility and he's getting this Dro aura, and then maybe a Luna is giving him this extra 24 agility. Yeah, now he's up to 4 Gloves of Haste. I like just visualizing it as Gloves of Haste. That's how you look at it in your head. Yeah, if you think about it, that's 2,000 gold worth of items. Not efficient items. Like, if somebody won 4 Gloves of Haste, I'm not super happy about that, but it is a thing, as now they're going to send around this Roshan pit. They know there's no Phoenix Egg, which is the massive teamfight ability in that pit. They know there's no Epicenter because they blew it all on Zaya's. Dire are going to scan, and I mean, they do have sleep, but Ame does not seem interested in this at all. It's going to go down so fast to the all-Agi Morphling with the Dro aura. You want a little bit more Gloves of Haste? I'll give you another one here. What's up? So the Luna gives you 24 of your primary attribute at level 4. And Precision Aura gives you Agility is range attack speed bonus 80%. Yeah. So that's 20 attack speed. I mean, that's an extra 20 attack speed off of your Precision Aura for everyone when he's near the Luna. I see, yeah. He just lost 20. Yeah. That's pretty sick. That's insanely sick, Cap, and thank you for doing all that. That's looking at math right there. Haha, we got you guys. We knew we could do it. Grant doesn't I was doing the homework for 17 minutes. I pulled out my calculator, but finally, it all paid off. It doesn't matter how long it takes to get there. It's the NA way. 6-4, 17 minutes in. LGD. So we talked a lot about Secret. I felt you pulling me back to LGD. I did. I want to talk about LGD. And I do too. So what's the timing here? When are we going to come online? When can we talk about Ame being a force in this game and not just farming his way up? 3 more items. 3 more items. Okay, so that you need Diffusal, Manta, and Heart. Is that the 3 you need? Butter's good too. Butter's really nice because the morph, anyways, does not want to build MKB. Like, it's not a natural morph item. Yeah, it doesn't really help him stat wise or anything like that. So. Yeah, he's just going to need to power farm. Because, like I said, like the rest of his team does not feel great hitting creeps. Like Chalice, only up to 58 CS. The Batrider, I mean, I feel like maybe destroyed his lane, and a large majority of his CS this game comes from the early game that he was able to win so hard. As okay, Dust, they've got the Dust this time. Can't believe maybe just tried that. Look, Yapsor, this is positive reward. You know, some Pavlov stuff. He just went and he's like, well, they haven't had Dust before. I could grab this Illusion Rune right in front of Zai. It's not like the Illusion Rune does anything for you on a Batrider. The greedier teams get punished so hard by this. Yeah. Like, Secret and Liquid especially are so guilty of this. You know, of not buying to text. Yeah, Mirana's like should be theoretically the best heroes. Bottom lane. Guys, Zai again? Zai? We're gonna try this? Don't go for Zai. LGD, please. That guy. He is too tanky. He's got a Hood of Defiance, Vanguard. Look at this. Ame, he catches them both with the sleep. Oh, the hook's going to miss. The Epicenter's going to come in. Chalice immediately goes in, gets the Bro Strike. This is the 5 position that you just blew your entire combo for. That was not the team fight that LGD was hoping it was going to be. Yeah, but Puppy got dumped on. We tilted the captain. Yeah, it's that hidden factor of killing the captain. Man, Puppy got the treatment. Can you imagine walking up a hill getting Song Epicenter
Supernova.
Supernova'd.
I'm surprised he didn't get Fiend Script.
Yeah, from a visual perspective, it looked very cool at least. So we know that LGD can win a fight 4-on-1 with all their ultis.
Can they win a 4 versus 5 though? I mean, it seemed like they can hardly beat a 4 versus Pudge. Their damage is just so magic based that
The good news for them though, I think, is that Naga will be very good against him.
yeah.
Later on, like he has a very hard time killing her illusion straight up, and that's why I think Zai recognizes that, and they're going to try to push the issue a lot quicker. If you notice his build, he's going for Crimson Guard. Nisha has the quicker BKB queued up as well. Like they're pumping a lot into this like mid-game timing. YapzOr, you know, doing YapzOr things almost has a fully completed Aghanim Scepter. And again, you just treat this guy like another core. Like as a caster, the mistake is always to think of him as a pure forward position where he's just going to make plays. No, this guy really likes hitting neutrals.
And he likes being able to do crazy things in team fights, and that's going to show off. And Aghanim's Luna, that is a lot of magic damage. And I don't think, what are Chalice's items? He doesn't have anything like a pipe or something that's going to protect the team. Yeah, straight up Blink Dagger into Lotus Orb.
Chalice is so underfarmed because he just hasn't been given, like I said, it's almost like the exact polar opposite of how Secret's treating this game.
Yeah.
Is how LGD's treating this game. LGD's like, Ame, we have, no matter what our item situation looks like, we have...
No, there was going to be a Fiend Script on Poppy.
Okay.
It was just 2 minutes delayed, that's all. Are you going to have to lasso him too? Yes, you are.
Got him.
You can't let him snowball. Nice hook snag there from Zai. The sleep is going to go down, though. Okay, don't wake him up, though. Oh, Nisha stops the TP. X-Nova will not make it out.
That's another stack. That's 10 now. Dude, everyone's just getting... Their team is so cool. They just... Everyone's got their own aura and stuff.
Yeah.
No one's left out. Like Zai even... You know, he doesn't get any draw aura, but...
I feel like you're saying these teams are like polar opposites, and this is also like... This is what Secret looks like when it's working.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what LGD looks like when it's not working. You know, this is like when you're when it's a 4 protect 1 strategy and the 4 is beating the opposing 5, then your strategy looks sick. Ame all of a sudden comes in as a Terrorblade or an Animage or a Naga Siren or something and just ends the game for you. But in this game, it's like LGD is kind of losing the game for 20 minutes and they're just waiting. They're going, Ame, we're going to need you to step in soon, bud, because this game is not going so well.
The thing about Secret's style is, like, when they play like this, they look unbeatable. Because their style just looks like it's unpunishable.
Yeah.
But when it looks bad, it looks bad. And then, you know, Puppy gets flamed for his greedy no-stun draft.
Yeah,
what are you doing? But, you know, like, this is the ideal scenario of how your lineup can potentially look.
When Zai doesn't win his lane and successfully rotates... Oh, he's going to get caught. That was not the Icarus dive, unfortunately, but he didn't have any options, to be honest.
And this was the smoke to just connect to the tier 1.
Yeah.
As a fully completed BKB is completed on this Morphling now. And yeah, it's just...
We've seen games where Zai makes that rotation and it doesn't succeed, and then he goes from a 3 to a 4. And then as a result, he's not able to create the space, and YapzOr doesn't get as much farm either, and then you've got... 3 very poor heroes and, Nisha or mid one who's trying to, create space for the other.
Yeah, this Luna now does have her Aghanim Scepter.
Oh, boy.
Like, we haven't really seen YapzOr have to move around a lot, past the laning phase. I mean, if you look at his heat map, I imagine it's largely centered around that top area in jungle, aside from the smoke expeditions they've done, but look how quickly
look at
tower. This is why you don't need any items on the morph aside from the BKB and the Lincoln. Yeah, this is all YapzOr's had to do. He's like, I'm just going to chill up here and farm.
Top lane, off lane jungle.
They're
that's
just
the only
going for
place
it.
for me.
Oh, the hook does whiff.
Chalice in a good position
your
here.
tower's going down
Epicenter coming in
fast.
from behind. They're going to be able to get the 2-man bro strike. The follow-up here from the maybe is going to be able to get the lasso to pull back their Drone Ranger. All important that they get this kill. The Supernova successfully stuns him up. That Aghanim does go up. Unfortunately, the illusions help tank so much damage there. A hook comes out from Zai, able to pull the Bat Rider in. The Drone Ranger is still alive somehow. They blew everything to be able to kill mid one, and he's not dead yet. Finally, he will go down as the Naga Siren illusions will help finish off this case. But Secret is looking plenty strong. They're still going to look for this fight as the BKB wears out from Nishan now, but it runs over Chalice. They're going to be left with this tier 3 and this bottom lane of Rax as LGD has clearly run out of steam. They threw everything they had to be able to kill that True Ranger, and there's nothing left after.
And Secret, as a result, they're saying to themselves, guys, they literally used everything that they have. There's no team fight left. The Naga won't feel comfortable fighting without sleep. We sped up the timing considerably. I said the Naga needs at least like a few more items to be able to go for the high ground or take a fight on the high ground, and unable to do so. They're going to get the mid tower to about half as well. Reset things, allow their Dro to reset. Spawn. There's a Roshan that they can take pretty shortly in 2 minutes. They're pinging towards that top lane as Puppey. He wants people to come over.
Puppey. He's going to spot him. Snowball first, punch after, and now that is just long enough for the Drow Ranger to get here, but BKB teleport. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he needed to save the punch. It's all good, though. Everything is coming up Secret as 25 minutes in. This Pudge strat, they've got a Pipe, a Crimson Guard, the Drora, the Luna Aura, a Vlad's. Like, they just have so many items.
So what are the missteps from LGD? Like, I feel pretty strongly this Phoenix was a non-factor.
Oh, I mean...
It didn't do anything.
Hold that thought as...
You'll Scepter to be able to dodge the stun. And he doesn't have a Sandstorm, but he does have a Blink.
Nice.
So he'll be good.
And the Phoenix kind of felt mediocre, and... I mean, they just weren't able to really do anything about this top lane.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they won bottom, and they did well enough in mid, too. Like, I'd say maybe won his lane. He's solo.
Did they win bottom though? Because I felt like the Phoenix couldn't do anything to this Pudge.
I think the Naga was just going to get farm anyways.
Yeah.
Like, Naga +1 lane. Is there really any lane that's going to pressure that Pudge out? Probably not. It's just kind of one of those like we trade farm. And so I think in that way they won. I misspoke. I don't mean to say like they destroyed Zai and they killed him a bunch, but I think the Naga was like comfortable coming out of the laning phase.
They got what they wanted.
Yeah, but at this top lane, it's when Zai made the rotation towards that top, and then they just kept killing him over and over again. It all started with the dive onto Chalice, where he just kind of got walked down. Then he skipped the wave. They pushed the tower really quick as a result. Like it all comes down to that first kill, I think, when they skip the wave, push it out. Then they take the early Roshan, and the game just like gets progressively more difficult as Naga is opting to go for the butterfly now, but her actual team fight contribution, I think, like is sort of limited. Like, she needs one more item on top of this. That's why I said after the defusal, she needs 3.
They got caught. LGD was trying to do this long wraparound, and Secret was wise to it. They successfully get a scan in the offlane jungle
they're just
area.
going for it.
They're just going to march down mid because they know at this point LGD is separated from their base. They're going to have to just mass TP back. And meanwhile, Secret's going to be able to get so much damage in. Nisha
that's
is
too fast.
maxed out agility. He's doing 300 damage a hit.
That's so
He's
fast.
a billion times a second. Melee Rack's already gone.
That
LGD couldn't even formulate a defense in time.
I mean, they all started coming back pretty quickly as soon as they realized what was going to happen. And
yeah. What is this? We're going to have the Bane run into Zai, potentially. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, though. It's going to take him so long to kill Zai that Secret may try and fight around him here. Sure enough, the Fiend script with the Enfeeble. This is going to be a very long one, but Puppey comes in with the snowball save. The Epicenter's going to come in, manage to get the stun onto 2 of them. They're just going to surround these
great-looking
2.
fight.
This is looking fantastic for LGD. The first time they're maybe going to win a fight here. BKB goes down.
The silence.
That Luna ultimate, a great silence after the Bane. He's trying to limp away, but here comes Nisha. Make sure he get blown up. The Supernova on the right-hand side. Nisha pops BKB, focuses down. Again, the Phoenix just not able to accomplish anything in these engagements. The song goes out. Now that the BKBs are wearing away for LGD, or Secret rather.
oh, look at Ame too. He popped the song thinking that he was getting chase. So in this ensuing engagement, doesn't really have that as a reset. Gonna go back to hitting creeps because there's still 5 seconds left on his TP. This is gonna be the other racks being taken, and FY. I mean, he was just done with this game. Couldn't really do anything about it. 2, 5, and 4. Never really felt his impact, like you said. But you never really felt the impact of any of LGD's heroes. And it's so weird considering, like, hypothetically, they should have been able to win team fights.
Yeah.
But you get this 2-0-2 Naga. Ame didn't end up dying once this game, but they just kind of go out with a whimper.
Yeah. It just felt like the moment the Pudge was a factor. And they realized we can't actually team fight into this guy. Our 4 Protect 1 can't actually fight. We're going to wait for Ame to farm, but at the same time, Secret's farming much faster than you. Because a maxed out agility Morphling and a Drone Ranger who's feeding off the Ancients and Yapzor who just AFK farmed the entire time. There's no way Ame could out-farm all 3 of those guys.
Yeah, you knew you were going to lose when they couldn't, when they took like that big team fight, or they thought it was a big team fight, and they just killed Puppey after blowing 3 ultis.
Yeah.
Secret was like, oh yeah, the game's on.
All right, well, a very interesting strategy from Team Secret. LGD really failing to come close to Secret in this game 1. Hopefully, we're going to take a look back at the draft, fix some things, and head into a stronger game 2 as we're going to go to the panel and see if they have any ideas to make LGD look better.
Observing is something where I feel like I would actually push the whole craft forwards. I could give people something that they would enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MDL Disneyland Paris Major. At the end of our first game of the day, Team Secret absolutely dominating LGD in spectacular fashion. Of course, I am here with gods and the man who looks like a god, Tsunami. You actually do, to me, look like the Greek god Zeus, or perhaps one of the Spartans.
Wow, you're too kind. Is it because I'm short and Zeus is short?
I didn't put that together. I thought you looked luxurious and handsome.
It's too good to be true if you're just complimenting me without a backhanded aspect to it.
Well, both of those people did die horrible deaths. So let's go ahead and go into the game and talk
mean like
about...
LGD?
Oh!
Hey!
Gods, I got to talk to you first. You saw that Phoenix pick and you were visibly disgusted, and it looked like you were right. Talk to me about it.
I was pretty disgusted throughout the whole game. LGD... I don't know what they're doing here. This is just...
What are they doing in this major even?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, no, they are one of the best teams in the world. They deserve to be here. I have high expectations from them because of their lineup, because of their history, because of what they've achieved.
And that's why you're so disappointed with them.
And this is just... I have very few words to describe just how bad they look with their draft and just what they're trying to do. I mean, most of it is the draft. You have Arm ending the game, like top 1 net worth, doesn't die, 2-0-2. When you lose a game with a carry player who doesn't have a death, that means something went horribly wrong. Like, it means you're not even trying to stop the enemy take your racks. Secret just walked in, take racks. Why are you even picking Phoenix into a first pick Drow? Like, there was no place for the Phoenix this game. Eggs weren't going off anywhere. Last pick mid Bat Rider. How are you ever going to take objectives? Like, there's just so many things wrong with this LGD draft. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, there's something to be said by being thrown off balance by an enemy draft, but even their own draft. Like, if you blocked out all of 5 of Secret's heroes and you just looked at LGD's heroes, how do they win the game with those 5 heroes? It was just very, very, I don't know, it seemed like some parallel universe LGD that we were looking at.
It was strange, but then again, I think they got sucked into the pupper zone. They saw that draft and they were just, it was like a flash bang in their frontal cortex. They didn't know what to do. I mean, it was just crazy. Pudges, Drows, Morph second picks. Although we should be seeing something better from LGD, right? I bought into the Kyle lecture. He said, best team at the tournament. China's got it all. They're going to win the whole thing. But was it all draft, though? Come on. Plays as well?
I mean, Secret played well, but
Yeah.
it was like a very free, easy Morphling game to play. I think the smart thing Secret did was just say, let Pudge be on his own. Like Naga, they basically gave the Naga free farm knowing that it would never matter. They never kills Naga once the entire game, and the game wasn't even close. Like, they were so far outmatching what LG were doing with their draft. They knew all they had to do was try lane top, win that lane. The Sand King was kind of the playmaker for LGD, and Sand King didn't have a good game. So that just made the game very easy.
And even picking the Naga into the Morphling, we saw Nisha was, so if you replicate into the Naga Siren and then you activate Mirror Image and you shift Q your Morph, you'll Mirror Image Morphling illusions. And so just that mechanic alone makes the carry matchup incredibly difficult. And so, yeah, that and the Phoenix and, I don't know, altogether, though enough of hating on LGD, how about that Secret draft, though?
Yeah.
Bringing back Yapsor Luna, Zai Pudge being proven against theoretically a more competitive team.
I'm upset about the game because I love that Secret do a draft like that, but I just don't feel like we get to understand how good that draft
It was
is.
wasted.
It's like, it's kind of wasted, but it's like, was that Secret draft like something ingenious and great or not? Because I can't tell when LGD's draft is that atrocious.
Okay.
Like, it's just, maybe that Secret draft is some next level stuff that is going to be seen again, and I hope we do get to see it, but it was not tested this game.
Absolutely. Well, let's let that go behind us. We have another game to go in. Hopefully we get to see a different LGD. Although I have something that I need to go and talk about. You see, I knew at the host game, we've got to do something in our beginning panel, and a few mouses were telling me that we need to probably do that now. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, it's time to be thankful for our sponsors. But I have a very special way that we're going to do that today. My friends, what is this? I told you to put badass pirate music. This is Beauty and the Beast. We can't sing that. All right. Well, I guess I'm being put on the spot. Well, okay. Gods, would you like to start with the sponsor? Go ahead.
I don't get.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
don't get paid to do this, Jake.
I gotta do it.
Host, sponsor, shout
Okay,
out.
I got it. All right.
Go on, Jake, please.
Okay.
Please. Today, please.
Big thank you to AMD. Big thanks to AMD for making this event possible. SAP, thank you to you as well. Secret Labs, the producer is laughing in my ear. You were supposed to give me badass pirate music, and just like the pros on the MDL Disneyland Paris Major stage today, the best way to stay comfortable throughout the most intense matches is with award-winning Secret Labs gaming seats. Fully enjoy customizable support. Incredible sitting experience today. Thank you. AOC, thanks for AOC for supporting us. AOC developed for awesomeness. Sennheiser, audio brought to you by Sennheiser Gaming today. Engineered professional audio equipment for gamers worldwide. And of course, HyperX. HyperX MDL Disneyland Paris brought to you by HyperX, because whatever you play, however you play.
We're all gamers.
We're all gamers.
We're all gamers.
Bittersweet
That's how I get to
and
that.
strange. What? This
I
is
said I wouldn't help you, Jake.
Beauty and the Beast.
You'll get your 10% after
Why,
that
though?
ends.
I kind of feel like you guys are almost Beauty and the Beast. The question is, which one is the beauty? If you had to choose, which one of you was the beauty or the beast, who would it be?
I would choose the beast. I'm the beast.
That was one of the most disturbing things that's happened on this panel so far.
Beast.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next game. This panel is just derailing down a cliff. All right, we've got a huge match coming up. Of course, it could be the one where Secret 2-0s LGD and solidifies never lost a game in this major. Or LGD could actually decide to play this one. What do you guys think? Is LGD's out after that performance from game one?
I think it was always going to be a tough uphill battle for LGD playing against Secret, even in LGD in good form, and that was not LGD in good form. I feel like they're going to have a better draft in game 2, but even close game against Secret, I would favor Secret. So
I see.
We'll see. LGD was touted by Kyle to be one of the teams to beat at this tournament. It's not looking that way right now. They're in a comfortable spot as far as the DPC goes, but we'll see if they can improve things here with their draft.
Oh, yeah. We should talk a little bit about the highlights from the last game, boys.
Is the draft always included in the highlight? Because I'm glad they included it as a highlight, because the draft is a highlight for Secret, a low light for LGD.
So pay attention to this Phoenix. I mean, I feel like this had zero impact on this game. Almost every ult goes in, tries to ult, and then what do we see? Pretty much nothing. Just turnarounds from the Morph and the Drow and just instantly knocked out here. But a couple moves early on. It wasn't looking too bad, boys, in the early game, right?
Yeah, Naga's farming. The problem is it's a very slow game. You see the kill score. There's not many kills. It's 7-6, and we're 21 minutes in. And Secret have a 6K gold lead. Secret's just farming on all 3 cores. And the problem is LGD is farming on 1 core. They're running this kind of 4-protect 1 strat where they've got this 1 that isn't going to carry the game. This is not like a Spectre, maybe an Anti-Mage, something that's going to actually take over. It's a Naga. It's kind of this more team fight oriented carry, but at no point could they actually really fight into Secret.
Now, Tsunami, I think you said they were 3 kills ahead on LGD, and you said this game was just over, even though they were ahead.
Yeah, because the Secret has a Luna support. If you can't dominate in the laning phase, you have no hope of taking it late. If you are not able to win the game by 20 minutes, there's no way that you're ever going to beat Secret, because you picked a Bat Rider as your second highest farm priority against a Naga Siren. So you don't have any hope of taking objectives. Ideally, you win the lane, and yeah, sure, Bat Rider got first blood against a Morphling mid. Great. What does that really get you long term? Not very much. And so after it was proven that the Luna tri-lane was too effective for LGD to deal with, it just proved that the game was too far gone.
Yeah, not too much high ground defense as well. I mean, once they got a few heroes down, there wasn't too much that they could do. They just had to let it go, and Mid1 looks pretty happy about that. He's exploding. His head seemed to be. He's got to comb his hair. That was an early morning for him. What was that, Mid1? Freshen up a little bit. Anyway.
Giving a little fist bump to Zai.
Oh.
Boom.
Yeah, that's what friends do, gods.
Yeah.
Could you touch my hand for a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Ew.
Now that is PG right there. That's what we're after on this stream.
Family friendly.
Very family friendly. Completely plutonic touching on this stream.
Nice and soft hand slacks.
Yeah, thank you. I moisturize way often, much more than I probably should. Very moist boy. As we go into this next draft, things look pretty calm over on LGD. They don't seem to be stressing too much.
Dude, 71 is... Oh, wait, is that 71? No. 71's Mineske.
Yes, you're way off.
QQQ.
Sorry, that's on me for associating the bald Chinese coaches together.
But yeah, some thoughts to be had here. In particular, some things that we haven't seen from LGD. For one, Witch Doctor was played by X-Nova. Nobody's running Witch Doctor except for, ironically, that's in Puppy's book. The Secret really value that hero as well. So there's a chance we could potentially see that. I'm hoping to see maybe some FY Earthshaker, some Pango from Chalice. Give me some more normal heroes on this team, huh?
Ame Terrorblade, maybe?
Yeah.
Get something that gives you a win condition, which is one of those things that, how are they going to win that last game? We couldn't really tell from our seats, and I don't think Secret could tell because they weren't letting LGD win it. So TBs, those more, I think, traditional carries for Ame. I'd like to see. He played a Lone Druid, actually, as well.
He did, yeah.
Yep.
It takes objectives. Like, it's not really an Ame hero, but it's the kind of hero that can give you a timing where you can win the game. And that's what LGD need to be thinking about.
He had played a different hero pretty much every single day, or every single game of this tournament. They played 3 series in their group stage. It's the Naga Siren is the first hero that he's duplicated. And then for maybe...
he played.
Void, he did play the Terrorblade, he played Lifestealer, he played Spectre.
Yeah.
So he's been going around all over the place. And then for maybe... He played some Storm Spirit. He also played Ember, but he lost both those games against Vici. It was 2 Ember games. So, don't know about that one. But I think X-Nova is the most important one.
Indeed. Here's a weird one for you, boys.
Zero.
Twice in this tournament already, Team Secret has played Clockwork. Clockwork.
Yep.
When's the last time you saw that hero do good? Besides the Team
Just
Secret
about to
game.
say Team Secret, yes. A few days ago.
In this tournament?
Yes, in this tournament, Clockwork was picked twice by Team Secret.
I've seen a few clogs here and there. It's very situational, but it isn't a terrible hero.
No, really. For
Really?
real?
Yeah,
Was there an Earthshaker on the enemy team? Because then it's a great hero.
Yeah.
Or a Leshrac.
Oh, okay.
But it's a situational hero. I don't think you can just roll up like we are seeing with the Sand Kings these days, or what theoretically was the Nyx Assassin once upon a time. I don't think you can just first phase pick it, unless if you are Secret, then you can do whatever you want.
We're going to see what they want to do here. I'm glad we see this Drow Bandad. I think that's a hero that you may just not want to give away, at least at the current time. We haven't really seen a team figured out yet.
Puppy has 50 contingencies for Drow being banned, though.
Oh, no, of course. But it's more, no team seems to have that answer to the
No,
Drow.
definitely not.
At least not an easy answer. Drow's not, I think, has lost a couple games here or there.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it does feel like it's a hero that requires you to
it's because,
do special things to beat.
Yeah, even the teams who are not as good have been picking her. And so I think a lot of good teams are like, okay, if I really think that I can beat like Empire, for example, then let's give them Drow Ranger. Maybe we get a little bit more data on how to beat a Drow Ranger.
Yep.
All right, well, we see the classic ban outs here. PSG.LGD going for that very respectful Abaddon ban against Team Secret. We'll probably be seeing that a lot this tournament. Oracle not going to be making it, and Tsunami, Nyx alert, here we are again. There is still no Nyx ban. Will somebody man up and just first pick that hero already? You've been waiting for it for like 3 days.
I'm waiting for it, yeah. I don't know. They know something that I don't, evidently, because I think that picking a Nyx immediately takes a lot of other heroes off the table, and maybe that's why you don't want to first phase pick it. Maybe he's gotten figured out to a point that he's still a good hero, it's just that people know how to pick around it. It's much as how I felt about first phase Sven support. People kept doing that, and then people were like, okay, I'm just not going to build any right-click damage, then your Warcry is useless. I'll just build a bunch of magic damage, and now you have a useless support who is extremely mana-intensive and does not scale.
Support Nature's Prophet. We've been seeing this banned out traditionally as well as a first phaser. Why is that hero so good? I mean, it's just the right-click damage, I believe, right? And the ability to rotate, is that it?
It's one of the strongest 5 positions in Dota right now. After Oracle, I would say. Maybe some people would say Abaddon. But it's so good, yeah. But the right-click damage in lane with a Blightstone, you can... They're going to first do Pudge.
Oh, sorry. So we got a Yaps or Rubik, I'm guessing.
A Yappy Rub.
And that's horrifying. And then we have this Pudge from Team Secret, who is just valuing this hero right now.
Here's another proposition. Do you think they can flex this Pudge, or are they always going to give it to Zai?
We've seen it only on Zai this tournament.
Correct.
I would say he's the Pudge player, but you could flex it. Were you suggesting flexing into a support?
Yeah,
or?
like a 4. I mean, well, maybe not 4 because Yapster is almost certainly playing the Rubik, but maybe a 5.
And I've also heard some people talk about how mid-Pudge against certain matchups can actually be pretty strong.
I've heard that too.
You get so tanky when you can get all the extra experience as a solo mid that you just get your flesh heap up that much faster. But you don't really scale. Is still my issue with that mid-Pudge.
Right.
And yeah, I think this is partly Secret having some fun. They believe in this Pudge pick, but Rubik has always been one of the better 4s against the support Nature's Prophet. The Fate Bolt with the damage reduction against Treants in lane. Nature's Prophet is a hero that's strong in lane purely because of the physical damage between your hero and your Treants with Blightstone, and Fate Bolt's reducing the hero damage, the Treant damage, and just makes that lane so much more manageable.
Well, we are seeing that. I think they're back in the pupper zone. We are seeing a long time for the next pick. They have been tilted again, potentially. And we'll see if we get some normal picks here. Predictions, who we got? Who's good against Pudge? How can you punish that hero right now? Earthshaker, hey! FY Earthshaker, one of my favorites from TI. This is looking okay.
It's looking good. I think they just didn't want to reveal too much. Team Secret, this Rubik Pudge. Yeah, Pudge is like one of those surprise picks you don't see too often, but it doesn't tell you anything about what they're looking to do with their draft. So I think LGD is like, okay, no need to pick up a mid or a carry or something that can get countered here. We're just going to pick up a strong 4 position that FY is amazing on. It makes up for Nature's Prophet's weaknesses of not having disable, lockdown control, and just, gives LGD a decent playmaker.
I think LGD didn't have enough bans for Secret because now you're picking... So it would have been either probably like a Sand King or a Shaker, and you're giving either of those to Yaps or Rubik.
Yeah, it's one of those things, the Rubik's there, so it is a hero that Rubik can steal spells from, but whatever FY ends up on.
Right.
Even if you get like the Nyx Assassin, which we keep talking about, Impale is a good steal. It's You can't not pick heroes just because there's a Rubik on the other side, outside of maybe like an Enigma or something.
Yeah, which they had played an Enigma. I think I would have been okay with a Doom, which they had picked up at one time, but it was banned out first phase by Secret.
Any other heroes that are just a no-go against Rubik? I guess probably Jakiro is a big no-go against Rubik, right?
These days with the Max Ice Path, I'd say it's a little bit worse than it used to be, but Jakiro's a little bit longer range. I think the biggest issue is like for YapzOr, it's really difficult because this dude will farm up an Agnum Scepter, Blink Dagger, Aether Lens, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Against traditional Rubiks, then I think the best way, even if you have good spells, it's spells that you can either cover up very quickly with another spell or spells that you can cast from a far distance. So Shaker's not as bad as the Sand King because Sand King, like, you were pretty screwed no matter what happens. But Shaker, at least you can theoretically cover it up with an enchant.
Yeah, and you can fissure from Fog and play on the outsides. Like you're in the early game before you have Blink, it's actually not the easiest. It's kind of unlikely that Rubik is stealing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So very interested in this OD ban. Typically, we're not seeing anyone picking OD except for mid one, and they actually go ahead and ban it. Does that mean that there's a potential we could see something like a Legion Commander or something that could really be interrupted by a OD here?
I think it protects a lot of the mid picks they want to consider for mid one. It's also a hero that's naturally good against these core Pudges that get super tanky. The Arcane Orb's just a good way to build up. And Pudge is this big tanky frontliner. We saw last game Secret had a couple of those big tanky frontliners, and I think OD is just a good hero against that. Like I was thinking, like, what do they want a second pick after Nature's Prophet? I'm like, okay, what's good against Pudge? And OD is one of those heroes that does have a save, for a dismember or a cancel. Can just wail away on the Pudge. So it is a good hero in a sense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So they are going to get that Morphling again. I mean, he was dominant last time, right? Why change a winning formula?
Yep. They seem confident to just pick it, not caring about what the matchup's going to be. And that's also why they ban the OD, is because that's a pretty good hero against the Morphling.
In the same vein as things good against Pudge, I'm surprised that they're not really they may be, but I think Lifestealer would be not bad. Sure, the Dismember goes through spell immunity, but being able to like ignore a Pudge for a little bit and then claw away at him and lifesteal so much from his extremely high HP it can be a great asset for a Lifestealer.
Yeah, I think that's like the traditional counter, right? A Lifestealer or maybe even a Timbersaw back in the day.
Right,
Chew him up, huh? Yeah, probably not going to see that, though. Although, think of the synergy. Timbersaw, Tree, and Protector. Very nice. Put
I mean, Nature's Prophet?
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry.
I was like, where's
My head's
Tree?
in the...
That's a new hero.
Yeah, I haven't heard of such a hero. I haven't seen him in years. Oh my god, how many spells are they going to give to this Rubik?
Look, you can't pick passive-only heroes when you're playing. You got to pick heroes in Dota that have spells.
That's true. There's so many heroes that don't have spells. So making sure that you select the ones that do is extremely important.
There you go. And Rubik, he's going to steal some spells. It's the nature of Dota.
You got me there. I didn't consider that factor.
I think, for me, I think if you're LGD after last game, you just have to focus on having a well-rounded draft. You can't see this Rubik let it get into your head too much. It's YapzOr Rubik. He's going to be able to make plays. He's going to be stealing some spells. Just play your own game. Because they didn't play any game last game. They were just passive bystanders letting Secret win the game, take racks while they did nothing.
Yeah.
But this Shaman pick's interesting because it puts one of the Nature's Prophet possibly as a core, unless we're seeing something really obscure like a Shaker core, which I think is less likely.
I got to agree with Tsunami here and you, Gons. Why not just pick as many spells as possible? Confuse the Rubik. Let's get an Enigma. Heck, let's get an Invoker.
See,
let's just...
That would be good, but knowing how YapzOr plays his Rubik, that's why I said he's going to get that Aghanim Scepter. Freaking, I will never like YapzOr rushing Aghanim Scepter on Lion.
Wow.
It makes me furious. I don't care how many games he wins. I don't care how much finger damage he gets. I hate that he has normalized Ags Rush Lion.
I mean, a lot of us do that at high-level Dota.
Really?
Yeah, me, for one.
Oh.
Just rush Ags on everything.
Absolutely. PPD says Lion's not a hero till he gets Blink. PPD's on NIP. I'm on Team Secret, baby. Ags first. Anyway, Witch Doctor, I talked a little bit about this before the series started.
Yeah, it could be a denial pick, as you said, for X-Nova.
All right, correct. But Puppy seems to really value this hero. He's just a very comfort pick on a lot of drafts. We saw him all the way from the minor and the major. Witch Doctor just never leaves Puppy's side. Strong hero gods, nobody else seems to pick it.
Especially when you're supporting a Morphling.
Yeah.
Going full Agi and then as we all know, any sort of healing helps, and having a very cheap heal like a Witch Doctor is just great.
He is that 5 position that's kind of a laning stage specialist. I think the fall off is what happens after that. He's got a pretty mediocre ultimate.
Whoa, Witch Doctor's ultimate?
Yeah, as far as 5 positions go, it's so hard to get a good Death Ward off. You don't see many Witch Doctors having an impact with Death Ward. It's an ultimate with a lot of potential to do a lot of damage if you get farm and can position well, but life of a 5 position in a team fight is that you don't get many Death Wards off.
Especially in this game. Puppy knows that if he gets a Death Ward off for like more than 1.5 seconds, then something really good happened. Because there's a Storm, a Shaman, and a Shaker against him.
It's this weird thing where like Witch Doctor in some ways it would be a buff if he had a worse ultimate that just did something simple and easy to execute. Agree. If you replace Death Ward with just like, I don't know, another like cast like spell that's just like an average non-ultimate spell, Witch Doctor would actually be a better hero for competitive Dota.
Yeah.
Because you're a 5, you just don't get to sit there channeling a Death Ward and killing people except in pub games.
Crystal Maiden's ult needed to get buffed like 20 times before people are like, oh, okay. And then in classic form, everyone's like, okay, great. We'll give her farming position. BKB now that her ult's good. So maybe that's the slippery slope that a Witch Doctor may be on.
However, if you rush Ags on Witch Doctor, now hear me out, guys.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
You could do it in the enemy fountain.
Heck of a
You need
sales
Ags and you need BKB.
Yeah.
And then if you're by that point, like if you're a support with those items, your enemies have 4 stuffs, they're just going to kite you.
Listen, we don't need to spend this much time on my horrendous itemization. Let's just move on to
Imagine
real
if
talk.
Witch Doctor had Bane's ultimate. That would be an amazing hero.
Yeah.
Wow. I think Bane would no longer get picked.
Yeah.
All right, so we haven't talked at all about the
yeah.
Storm. Yeah. Let's hit it.
It's a good Storm game. There's lack of things to really control or cause the Storm too many problems. There is, Dismember as well as the Rubik Telekinesis, but this right now does look like a pretty straightforward, easy-to-play Storm game.
Yeah, and it's something that brought maybe success earlier against their Mineski series, as he picked it twice, I believe.
Sure. We see a ban out for the Spectre. We have seen Ame pick Spectre before and do great on that, so respect ban there from Team Secret. And the late-game Pugna ban. Magical damage?
I still think Lifestealer's good. They ban out Pugna, so maybe you can't Decrepify someone. He's got a Storm Sphere that he can jump into. I mean, yeah, it's not great whenever you have to pick it into a Morphin, but like you said, with the support, it's like you can't not pick spells into a Rubik.
Ursa.
A bit more damage output.
Without any melee core to go against?
Oh, my.
Like
it's Pudge,
Pudge.
Right? Yeah. It's theoretically amazing against Pudge.
Theoretically, but they have a lot of ways to kind of stop that Ursa, right? You got Cask, you got Morph, you got Rubik.
Yeah, they've got stuns, but it's not like amazing kiting. Like once you throw that lift and he's going to phase drums after you or something, he's going to look to just chase you down.
Okay.
But I think the core-to-core matchup, much as how Lifestealer would suffer against a Morphling, Ursa similarly suffers to an extent.
Yep.
It gives you objective taking as far as Roshan goes. You still don't have that amazing tower push. Shaman and Nature's Prophet give you a little. I'm curious to see who's the core between the Nature's Prophet and Shaker, because I wouldn't expect X Nova to play like a Shaker or Shaman. Like to me, of these heroes, I only really see him playing Nature's Prophet, which means I guess Shaker is actually maybe the 3 position.
And an Alchemist coming out from Team Secret.
Wow.
Money maker.
Huh.
Are they going to get that much space, boys?
Storm is a hero that maybe will allow him to get some space here. We'll see how good a laning stage LGD have, because if they do get like that fast phase boots, drums on Ursa, they can look to invade that enemy jungle, get Storm active online early. I'd like to see Storm to play faster tempo, not go for like a greedier Bloodstone build.
Yeah.
Considering there's an Alchemist in the game, I think you need to go maybe just like a tread
Kaya
fast.
Orchid.
Yeah, Kaya Orchid or just straight Orchid, whatever it may be. I think LGD need to play fast tempo.
All right, I agree. Tsunami, what are you thinking about this game, buddy?
Yeah, I think because Alchemist and Storm Sphere kind of have the same dynamic right now in their ideal positions, which is they come back to the lane, they'll push it out, they'll go back to the jungle, farm it out, but a Storm Spirit's never going to beat an Alchemist in that regard. So I agree with Gods that Storm Spirit needs to keep up a higher pace, especially when he has the Ursa on his team, because yet again, if this game goes past, I'll give them maybe like 15 more minutes than I did last time. I said 20 minutes last time.
Oh my goodness.
This time, if they can't get like solid tier 3 towers before like 35 minutes, I think Secret just have the late game Locked and loaded.
All right. Well, according to our expert analysts, they have about 35 minutes to win this game.
Quote me on that.
Everybody get your clocks ready.
That's a
and get
grand guarantee.
Now, I do have one fun fact. I don't think that Storm Spirit's been picked in a game that Blitz Dota has not casted. So I do have a challenge. If Blitz does not say something positive about Storm, I will let him host the next panel. Pay attention. We have Blitz Dota and Capitalist coming up for this game, too.
Observing is something where I felt like I would actually push the whole craft forwards. I could give people something that they would enjoy.
You can always rely on Slacks as hosts to pull in the most relevant of stats. We have indeed only Storm games for Blitz Dota.
I like it.
And you're not supposed to say anything positive. I mean, do you want to host the next panel?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know. I know I love talking about the hero, but it feels like people are tired of hearing me just like wax poetic about how Storm works and like all the little mechanic stuff. So
well,
I will.
You did seem very confident that LGD was going to win. And to me, it didn't sound like it was about the Storm.
No, I think that, well, I just like their lineup. Although I liked their lineup last game, they got warped.
Their lineup has a Storm, so it's kind of about a Storm. It sounded to me like you also didn't like Secret's choice of the Alchemist last pick.
I don't know. It feels a little bit greedy, and I feel like if LGD, like the point of Ursa Storm is always really nice because you get you an Aegis really early. And I think Storm is just simply the best Aegis hero in Dota.
They're really going to challenge this Ursa for the Boundary Runes, and they will win. The Ursa not willing to take the fight to the extra 2 supports standing behind him.
Yeah, the way this is going to work, though, is because you have Ursa versus Pudge, you kind of have to like dual lane like this and just like hit the Ursa repeatedly. And I'm not sure if Rubik Pudge is going to be able to deal with Shaman Ursa.
I mean, that is a very big difference from the last game. Like, Zai had a totally free lane. The support he was matched up couldn't do anything against him, and the carry that he was matched up doesn't have a whole lot of lane presence. Ursa has some of the highest lane presence out of all the heroes.
Yeah, I will say Alk, though, is very good against Nature's Prophet. Like, conceptually speaking, you have a hero that just gives away Treants. That's how you look at this, is anytime he summons Treants, that's an extra, like, 100 gold for mid 1, like, as the game goes later.
Right. FY. I think he actually could have gotten more of a block there on Puppy if he just stayed in the trees where he was at, but does get a little damage on the opposing support. And the Witch Doctor is kind of good against the Furion as well when it comes to the laning phase, simply because you do have the Paralyzing Cast to help you deal with the Treants. FY doing a good job of making sure that doesn't manage to get off the easy camp pull. What about the mid matchup, Storm versus Morphling? Is that a good lane for Storm?
I wouldn't say it's a good lane for Storm, but I don't think it's like a terrible lane for Storm.
Okay.
Like I think that this lane is like it's like if I had to put it in numbers, I think it might be like 55-45. Like it's not terrible, but you have to use Remnant to farm a lot. And if Nisha picks up an early wand, the lane becomes a lot easier for him.
Okay. Overall, how does the matchup of Storm versus Morphling? Because isn't it good for Storm to match up against Morphling?
Like later on into the game, it's fantastic because you want a hero that can like instantly burst. And if you zip like halfway across the map, you're going to get kills onto the Morph.
Yeah.
Like especially if you pick up Orchid before he can pick up Linken's or Manta, your hero will always feel somewhat effective against him.
Well, that timing's going to be particularly important. They're going at it once again in this bottom lane. The Fate Bolt is slowing down some of the damage from the Ursa, but the swipes are building up, and that is going to be your first blood for X-Nova. Sure enough, Zai is not going to have the same kind of free lane he had last time.
Oh, yeah. Like, this was my concern off the bat. It was, does Rubik Pudge really beat Ursa Shaman? Like, those are both lane-dominating heroes. You're going to put a lot on Zai again. Obviously, Secret thinks that it's a really, really good hero, but I don't know. Like the main reason I favor LGD's lineup is because I think it plays very quick. I think like conceptually, Secret's lineup is quite good. Like Alchemist is quite nice against both the Storm and the Nature's Prophet. Like Alch late game, by the way, is great versus Storm. Because Storm never really has the opportunity to kill you.
Isn't it pretty bad versus Ursa, though?
Yeah, I think so. It's what LGD should try to do is just speed up the pace of the game and let maybe carry them.
Yeah.
Like let the Storm be the true one position in this game, essentially.
That's kind of like where I was going with the draft advantage for LGD. Is I felt like because of the Ursa, this is such a good Ursa game that LGD should just be able to take over at some point and just start trashing the Morph and the Alchemist, and obviously the supports are going to be food. The Pudge doesn't have a good lane against the Ursa either. As long as LGD can play fast enough against Team Secret and punish them for their greed this time around, and may be able to walk away with a win and forcing it to a Game 3. Mid1, where are you off to? Just stacking up some camps? All right, fair enough.
Oh, that's so unlucky for Nisha mid. Maybe he's picked up both the runes in this game. Like, that helps the matchup a lot.
You're going to see. Maybe he's going to try and go for this kill onto Nisha. Has the haste rune. Now, Nisha is actually battling with him, but the Fairy Fire popped. Nisha realizing he can't actually take this battle anymore. The Bottle Charge is going to help him out a little bit more. Top lane, a big hit from the Enchant Totem is just enough to secure the kill onto Puppey. They're going to trade out the two supports here in the top lane.
Yeah. That's not that bad of a trade, I think, for the Alch. I think for the Alch, as long as your lane goes 50-50, you're perfectly happy, I think, with how everything's going. As he's going to go for... It looks like he's not going to go for the standard build. In fact, if you click mid one, he's in fact going to go for the crest first.
Okay, early medallion.
Yeah. Oh, bounty runes. You really need to
fight over it. LGD do manage to snag that one away. Ame grabs it away from the Pudge. He's going to pay for it with his life potentially, but first he's going to be able to kill Zai. Now the TP in from Chalice with the shackles onto the Witch Doctor. That should be a second kill here as a great Sprout
nice
walks
Sprout.
him in. Puppey is able to eat through two of the trees.
One
if
hit.
there was a high ground miss, or there's the Ether Shock. Will be able to finish off the kill. 4-2 now to the favor of LGD.
And he made him use half of his tangos.
That
Underrated.
is also true. That's 60 gold down the drain.
Puppey's poor already, man. Like that, every bit matters. He's got 12 gold on him.
What's his net worth at right now? What is that percentage-wise? That's 60 gold.
It's a healthy amount.
It's only at 800 gold. It's only at 800 net worth. It's almost 10% of his net worth. Gone.
Not a rich man whatsoever.
Doing well for CS. Pretty much everywhere. The Furion is doing pretty well, and then Ursa and Storm at the top here. Storm is going to fight Nisha for the rune. Regeneration picked up by Nisha, though, and maybe will be forced to zip away. There is an open shrine because apparently the top lane's going so well, and I guess it's in part because it's a Furion. He doesn't really need that shrine. Bottom lane, Ame gets a lot of damage onto Zai. Really surprised that Zai turned around at all.
Yeah, and Zai's build this game, going for the level of Flesh Heap, doesn't even help him. You're not going to out-regen the Fury swipes. He's already got 7 on him. He's being so careful at all times.
Oh, good steal by FY, taking away all those easy camp, and X-Nova making sure that mid-1 can't farm this mid-camp so easily either. Gets a little damage onto Puppey. The Maledict goes on to FY, though, and they're going to try and punish this. Mid-1 doesn't have the stun, but Yapzor is here, and they've already got the damage onto FY. He's going to take out. That's why FY turns around, goes for the Fisher to see if he can bail out X-Nova, but X-Nova's not going to make it away either. They try and stop Mid-1's farm, but they end up just adding to it, as he gets to be a part of 2 different kills, one of which he gets the last hit on.
Not fantastic for them, as they made that aggressive rotation to try to put some pressure, and instead giving up the kills. Now Nisha...
Are they giving up his tower too? As a result, with no supports here, Secret funnels back into this lane and will be able to deny the safe lane tower.
It's okay, I think, for the Alch, just because he wants to be hitting the jungle up anyways, but it doesn't feel good losing that mid tower, because what will end up happening next is the Nature's Prophet is going to look for opportunities to try to take the mid tower just by TPing in and pressuring it with the Storm Spirit. Like, that's the ideal move that you make right now, is to try to pressure Nisha out of his lane. Don't make it easy for him to just trade out farm, because he is catching up now, if you look at the net worth.
He could take bottom as well. They're in a really good position. The Ursa's forced back Zai. They've got a Siege Wagon still alive here, and they've got the wraparound with the Shackles now onto Zai. Look at the Fury swipes go with now the Enrage up. Ame makes even shorter work of his Pudge. And Furion thinking about TPing, but it may not even be needed, considering they had 3 range creeps and a Siege, and another wave coming in. This is looking like LGD do not need any assistance in taking bottom.
Yeah, and they are doing such a good job.
Oh, FY, he's really trying to pressure this area, really trying to make sure the Alchemist isn't free farming, but they got to be more careful and not just giving away these kills. It looks like FY is going to indeed take out for the Maledict here. They may be able to get a counter kill on a Puppey. They need the right kind of Treant Brox, but unfortunately, that round of Treants did actually die. Puppey will just go for the TP out and should be successful. Over to bottom lane, Zai being chased again. He's level 4. Ami is level 7 right now. What a massive difference. This is what it looks like when Zai is not able to have that kind of good game, good laning phase. He's not going to have much of an impact in this game at this point.
Yeah, and it looks like they want to go on him again as
just
was hiding in the tree line, but they're doing everything they can to shut him down. They even denied the catapult as a team. But look over here as mid one in the jungle, farming all of this up. The long zip in.
Long jump, maybe. It's going to pull him back and blow him up.
And this is going to be a large part of the creeps being mopped up for LGD, and this is what we were talking about with the aggressive lineup featuring the Storm Spirit. They want to be as aggro as possible in the jungle, make their way towards mid lane. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Nisha's already at half health. FY comes charging in, hits the enchant totem after shock, stunning up Nisha for a moment. He still gets off the waveform though, will be able to get away, but the damage has been done to the heroes, and they're not in a good position to fight right now, so it looks like this mid tower could die, but Alchemist is not going to give it up without a fight. Mid one now comes in. Throws out the acid, the paralyzing cast, gonna bounce between only heroes here with a Maledict on it. Chalice is in trouble. He goes for the Sprout, wanted to TP away, but didn't have a chance. What a great cast from Puppey. Secures a kill, protects that mid-tier 1 tower. 10-minute bounty runes though. Zai, he's gonna give up his life to ensure one of them here, but he's gonna feed Ame again.
I really like the move both teams made, by the way. We talked about how once LGD, they take the top tower, then Nature's Prophet wants to rotate into mid. Sandwich take the mid tower himself and then play into the jungle. And that's exactly what they went for. And Secret also made a good move of their own by choosing to defend that. They brought everyone, including the Alkin. I think you can't just give up this tower for free. Like, once you lose this tower as an Alk player, your game becomes so much harder. And people might be wondering why. It's because you no longer have to smoke to make aggressive maneuvers in. Plus, you have to consistently place wards around this mid lane and into your own jungle just to make life easier for yourself.
I feel like there's a really good stat out there somewhere, if Nahaz is listening, where there's got to be some sort of win rate about Alchemists who lose their mid-tier 1 tower. It's got to be so bad if it's, you lose your mid-tier 1 tower before 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's why heroes like Timber, aside from the whole melee thing, as Ame has made his way over here too, as Puppey's ult instantly gets countered by that fissure. Nisha just backing up this Ursa. And you see that LGD, they're prioritizing like very heavily, bringing whatever cores they can to try to take this mid tower. But Secret is always responding. Yeah. And the reason for this is just because of that. Like, protect your Alk's jungle. It feels like, it's like, oh, well, the tower's going to die anyways. No, make it as hard as you can for LGD. Don't just give up that tower for free.
Yeah, and considering the pace at which Alchemist does farm, getting an extra minute or two can make a world of difference. As you can see, he's building up the Radiance right now, has a 1,000 net worth lead on the Ursa, but he needs a little bit more, and they're trying to get the kill right now onto X-Nova. Just going to push him back, not able to get any disables, maybe setting up on mid lane. Ame, he tried for this tower earlier, he's going to go for it again. They're going to bring Chalice as well, the waveform out from Nisha. This is finally going to be, it seems like, LGD getting this mid-tier 1 tower. Secret can no longer defend it, so 12 minutes is when it falls.
Yeah, and so the second hidden factor of this too is that it opens up Roshan, and you really want to get an Aegis out on the Storm as fast as possible so you can play really aggressive. I'd like it anyways to go on the Storm.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to TP, right?
I would imagine so. Like, I just think that Storm on Aegis is, or Aegis on Storm is way too good.
He's probably just kind of like showing himself in another lane, helping disguise the fact that Ursa is currently doing Roshan.
Oh no, I think they're just going to straight up give it to
really going to give it to Ame, huh? Maybe it's almost like too early for Storm to make use of an Aegis.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. He doesn't really have items anyways.
Yeah.
Plus, Ame's lead is pretty big, like in terms of how much net worth that he actually puts out. And he's most likely your frontliner.
Well, it just gets worse and worse for Team Secret, but this is still an Alchemist strat.
Yeah, I love that move, by the way. Like, when teams do it, take mid tower into Roche.
Yeah.
You've taken top tower. Secret are going to be very hard-pressed to defend that, even if they know that it's up. It's top lane.
X-Nova was trying to hide in the trees, popped out at the wrong time here.
This is how he makes his way over. He just saunters. He's like, I was a part of this. This is why they first picked me Pudge, so that I could take 2 strength for myself.
Look at all this deep vision from LGD. Having taken the tier 1 towers, they've got some, this top ward. They've got this offlane ward as well, the offlane jungle ward. So they can get a pretty good idea of where the Alchemist is. If he's not in the offlane jungle and they see deep into the lane, then they know that he's probably right here by this shrine area.
I would imagine they take a fight right now.
Yeah, and you might as well, right? You know that the Alchemist is probably up there. Time to go for a smoke. You've got the Aegis too. And that Radiance is coming in so close. If they could delay it another minute or so, it would be a big win. But YapzOr has positioned himself. He's going to run to the smoke first. Now, he may be caught. They're going to have to roll in for the Storm Spirit. Melee gets hexed up, actually. Now he's going to be bit by Zai, but Zai is not strong enough to kill a Storm Spirit in that small window of time. Ame quickly helps get that kill. They're going to be able to run down the Witch Doctor as well. LGD do completely take over this jungle area, and they still find Nisha as well. Nisha dies.
Oh, that should not have happened.
Definitely should not have happened. That should have been a pick-off on Zai. It should have been a pick-off on one of the supports, and that's it.
Yes, that was him running in after the fact, and that's going to make it a lot easier now for them to take control of this jungle area. I really like what they're doing here. LGD is playing a much faster game, a more purposeful game than they did in the last one.
Yeah.
This is going to force mid one now to the triangle, which he's not going to hate. He's got to be a little bit careful about ward vision, which is why they place like 4 different sentries down here to make absolute sure that he's not under vision. Yeah. And the majority of the smokes are going to come out of LGD's hands, just because, I mean, Secret, they're going to use it here, but not really sure what they're hoping to find, because if they just run into the Ursa with Aegis, they're hoping that he tries to go for the bounty rune, and that's in fact going to be the case.
Bounty rune time. They are going to be able to grab 2 here, and are they just going to leave Zai? I think they are. They're going to try to do some damage to Ame, but this is a disaster for Secret now. It turned as a desperate smoke to be able to secure 2 bounty runes, and it turns against them.
They see mid one. They want him.
They want him real badly. X-Nova,
they've got wards
trying to
too.
make his way through creeps, just drops the wards to spot mid one any way they can to make sure he's not teleporting out, and they will be able to get that kill. Now, YapzOr did steal Ball Lightning, so he will be able to zip away from the Storm Spirit. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I think they were hoping to find somebody else at that bounty rune.
Yeah.
Like, they were thinking to themselves, I think the logic was you have to take some sort of fight and get some kills to reset the timing on everything that LGD does.
Maybe they assume like Ursa's top because they've just taken the tier 2. And like maybe Furion will go bottom. We'll kill the Furion, we'll get 2 bounty runes, it'll be a big kill.
We'll get out this jungle area,
yeah.
Then we'll allow mid one to push in this lane. Like, we'll secure a lot. I think conceptually the move is actually quite smart.
Yeah.
But LGD, this has always been, for me anyways, this game is like who's slightly smarter. Like when Secret made the move to defend their mid tower originally, and now it's LGD that strike back with Ame saying, I have Aegis. Like, this is the scariest part of the map to be in. This bottom area, guys, for Radiant is so scary. You have no vision. You're sort of just walking in blind, but because you're an Aegis Ursa, that doesn't die very easily to any of their heroes.
Oh, good hook. Thanks to the ward, they're going to be able to catch X-Nova, who turns around and immediately shackles up Nisha. Nisha is actually in a lot of trouble here, taking so much damage. The Echo Slam comes out from FY. They need a little bit more, and that'll be enough. They get Nisha. An Echo Slam stolen by YapzOr. That doesn't do a ton of damage. FY's a little bit low with the Maledict. He will actually tick out here, but now here comes maybe. Zai's already dead. Puppy's standing and fighting against Ame, but now he's going to fall. YapzOr can't make it out alive either. That's 4 dead from Team Secret, and now they've spotted mid one, who has the Spirit Vessel on him. He's not regenning at all. He's going to pop the Shrine near the end of this. A desperate maneuver for a desperate team and a desperate player, but Secret are going to get wiped here, and LGD looking like they are indeed going to strike back against Team Secret, looking like they should be able to close this out and make it a 1-1 series.
Yeah, all 3 of the cores are incredibly farmed.
They've got a net worth lead against an Alchemist.
They have playmakers is the main thing. Like, they have heroes that can do stuff. I felt like, you remember what I told you pre-draft? I was like, I want something like Monkey that can just fight early. Like, you need something that can fight early on Secret because you already have this Morph, this Pudge. Like, give me a hero that can fight. You don't necessarily need something that can absolutely secure late game because Nisha will do that for you on the Morph anyways.
And I love this series tells the story of these differing ideas of strategy and when it looks good and what it looks like when it goes bad.
Oh yeah, for sure. And right now we're seeing like what it can look like, at least in the mid game, because I still see a way that Secret can win this game if this AUK gets fat enough. But at least for now, like this has always been the blueprint on how to beat Secret, is like punish their greed and play very fast, aggressive, don't respect them, take very decisive moves. Like for example, when they took the mid tower, Ame immediately walks into Roshan pit, no hesitation, doesn't even smoke for it. He's like, I'm just gonna straight up do this. What are you gonna do to stop me? You have an AUK, he can't fight. You have a Pudge, he's level 6. Like what is anybody gonna do right now?
Blink away to the high ground. Secret are instead going to go for Chalice's Furion, but there is going to be the Fissure slowing things down. Zai does manage to grab the Shadow Shaman. X-Nova's in a little bit of trouble. He will end up going down, but maybe he's already killed 2 of the supports, and now he's going for Zai, leaving him for last here with the double damage. That'll help him get the kill. Double for Maybe.
Yeah, and Maybe's got a DD. This is going to be a free tier 2. They've almost got some components of BKB for Ame. They've almost got the Orchid fully completed now. On Maybe, this is going to be his Morph counter. Like, if you see how far behind Nisha is, and this is when Storm is really good against Morph, when Morph can no longer play in the lanes. You can't play, like, this 1,000 HP because Storm zips in, he can precast Orchid on you, you'll die every time.
We also said that LGD playing their 4 Protect 1. Last game we said this is what it looks like when it looks bad, when your 4 can't fight. In this game, LGD's 4 is so strong, they can easily take a 4-on-5, and then that 5th that they're protecting, that Storm Spirit, he just zips in and cleans up kills when he wants to.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about this strat too, is that they have so many heroes that can just run in and tank a fight, and then Storm can kind of pick his battles. I'd say the worst thing about a Storm is like when you have to be the one to solo initiate in, and everyone can just thereby focus you.
Yeah.
Because LGD have multiple heroes that can make the jump first for him, the Earthshaker, the Nature's Prophet, the Shaman even, and the Ursa, they just sort of run at the side of Secret. Secret has to use some of their abilities more defensively. And once you commit these like single target stuns out from Secret, it becomes a lot easier for Maybe to play this game.
Look at that. They have so much deep vision on the top half of the map. There's 3 different wards up there. One in lane, one in the jungle, and one inside the base. That this time around, they 4-man bottom and leave Furion to get the 2 bounty runes top because they know there's no way Secret could get up there. The only way they can is if they smoke inside their fountain and run all the way through. Secret just left with this small little 1/8 of the map where they're able to farm a little bit of their offlane jungle, a little bit of mid and bottom. Basically whatever pushes into their base. Meanwhile, LGD spread far and wide across the map. Getting a lot more farm, building a lot more net worth over Secret right now, whose Alchemist is still ahead of everyone else, is sitting at 14,000, but Nisha is the real carry. He's the harder carry going in later into the game, and he's sitting at 7,500 net worth. That's a good 2 to 3K below the cores of LGD.
Man, that move top in the jungle where he just kind of walked in after they had all died hurt his game so much.
Yeah.
That actually slowed down things considerably. They lost so much map control.
And then their smoke into the Aegis Ursa is another bad one, because that was the timing of the Radiance.
Yeah, it's one of those things like where Secret... it works when you lose just Puppy to these kinds of ganks.
Yeah.
Like we saw last game. It's just like, well, Secret's concept is you'll kill him, but we'll just farm more. As a result, you'll be together as 5 for a while, whereas we'll get more on the map. But losing 3 heroes to that smoke...
I do really like the fact that LGD did not back down from the Pudge. When I saw the initial part of the draft, I was like, oh, did you really want to give up that Pudge again? It looks so good. But they said, you know,
I think they thought...
We have a really good answer in the Ursa. Like, there's a big weakness. Like, let's just calm down, guys, and remember that there's a reason Pudge hasn't been seen so much.
I think it was more like, guys, I don't think Pudge was the reason we lost. I think it's more because we were just garbage. Like, we probably messed that draft up quite a bit, and we probably played quite badly, so let's just run that back. Because sometimes captains will get really stubborn, and, you know, it'd look embarrassing if LGD just got worked this game, right? Yeah. But it would also suck for every team to have to start banning Pudge, which is what Puppy, I think, is trying to get people to do by first 2. It's like the meta for the tournament now. Yeah. It's the new Dro for them, I think. It's like, well, if you ban the Dro, then, you know, at least we'll get Rubik for YapzOr every game, and now, like, will pick this Pudge first too. We'll pick it early and earlier and make you think that this is a focal like must pick on our lineup. And now every team has to just blind respect it. And maybe we'll start getting like more morphs, more drows. Like we'll open up the draft for ourselves overall. You'll have to let something slip as a result, which I think is a really cool concept and way to draft. And now you're going to get the Aegis on the Storm Spirit, which I think is the best Aegis carrier in Dota.
Yeah, the 12-minute Aegis on Storm Spirit may not be that good, but
no,
23-minute Aegis, that's a good sweep.
That's
right
two
there.
pools that you get to play with. I will say, by the way, we're being a little bit defeatist on Secret's lineup, saying like, you know, they're read like a book. But again, I can still see a way that they can win this game.
All right, give me that story then.
I think they just have to kite back. The Storm, you just really have to kill him with this Aegis timer when he gets too aggressive. If their team dives or something like that. Secret's lineup is quite nice. Like, as the game goes later, obviously. They have Alchemorph. They have really good Ags givers, too.
I mean, Tsunami said past 35 minutes. The game goes past 35 minutes. Secret is won.
I think it's a bit longer than that.
Well, was just optimistic thinking. Poor puppy dies again.
I think it's like probably 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the Storm and the Ursa will really fall off. Like, if they haven't taken Rax by then, I think things are rough.
What happened here? Poor Nova got pulled in by Zai. There's no other reason he's inside of the base right now. So good.
That's nice. That'll slow things down.
Yeah.
That'll allow your Alk to get another few waves. And I believe that is the BKB on the Morph. I saw him go for Lincolns, and I was like, are you really thinking about that?
Yeah.
Because the Storm will just use his pull then to break your link. Then he'll Orchid right after. And it's almost instantaneous to begin with.
And BKB probably feels a lot better for these team fights anyway. And you're going to need as much team fight as you're going to get because LGD, I'm sure they're going to go for this final tier 2 at some point. There's no rush, though, for LGD, right? Like, you can finish up Abyssal Blade. I mean, because they're still building more and more of a net worth lead. Even though it's going later, yes, they're also building a larger lead over Secret.
Yeah, I think this is one of those, like, 80-20 games, 90-10 at this point.
Yeah.
It would require LGD to have to mess up to lose this game.
Well, maybe this is going to be a mess up. They get the chain disable, and he's not going to be able to pop the cheese. That's a big kill. And maybe is struggling to be able to get anything. And the whole challenge, he TP'd into this thinking this was going to be a good fight, but now the Glimmer Cape's not going to save him. The Sprout might be able to do. He goes for the teleport out, but he gets hit by the stun. The TP gets stopped. That is 2 cores dead and a Shadow Shaman kill. That is a massive turnaround. That's a 3,000 net worth just from the fight. And you also now know that the Morphling's going to be able to push out. The Alchemist is going to be able to push out. They're going to farm a lot. That's probably just going to be another 2,000 net worth exchange just purely off of the fresh new map that they've got going on.
Friends, all you have to do is wait for your Storm.
Yeah.
He'll cancel all channeling spells.
Yeah.
The Ursa will be able to get his BKB cheese off. Like, that is just so unnecessarily risky by LGD. And that's why I was loath to say, like, 100%. I'll still say, like, 80-20, 90-10. There's no reason to make that move, let me just say. All LGD has to do is be careful and patient, and they should be able to win this game. And that was not a careful or patient move, Cap.
No, that certainly wasn't. Oh, look at that. Yapster stole teleport from Chalice when he came in, so...
Great stuff.
He will join his team in a bottom lane push, and sure enough, that's already 2,000 net worth. They went from 7k now to 5k off of them pushing in bottom lane, getting a tier 1 tower. They're going to be able to farm up this Radiant jungle.
I like that they, even though they have greedy heroes, they didn't build greedy, by the way, on Secret.
Yeah.
Because they thought to themselves, like, we might just straight up lose the game, so we need BKBs. And that's exactly what they went for. It'll hamper their later game, because now this Alk doesn't have Octarine as fast as he wants, but it ensures that the game doesn't just end in the next fight. Or that they at least give themselves the opportunity to win the next fight.
So you said, be patient for LGD. Obviously, they screwed up. They have a minute on the Aegis. Are you rushing to make use of that, or are you good with waiting for the third Roshan? Are you waiting for 35, 37 minutes to push high ground? It's kind of a little bit close on the timeline here, right? As we're going to have the long jump in. They're going to be able to catch Nisha for the moment. They managed to get the silence off on him, but now the Maledict on maybe in a lower mana pool may force him back, especially with the Shrine keeping Puppey alive right now. They do manage to get the silence. 30 seconds on that Aegis, maybe. Was trying to make a team fight happen out of it. Zai actually goes for the pull onto Ame. Ame turns around, immediately pops his BKB. Echo Slam on the side. Alchemist is actually going to stun himself here as well. That'll be the death of mid one, and the death of Zai, it looks like, as well, as maybe pushes forward. 12 seconds on that Aegis. He's either going to get the regen or he's going to lose this life somewhere deep inside of Secret's base. FY jumping in, trying to finish off this this Pudge, but he's not dead yet. Finally, he ticks out. Chalice was able to get the kill off the Wrath of Nature. FY gets turned around on by Nisha.
And they're holding.
BKB. And they are going to be able to finish off the Serpent Wards too, so...
Oh!
No, okay, maybe. He got the fresh regen off the Aegis, so he is able to just jump in with his full mana pool, kill one of the supports. Puppy's still alive, does manage to get off the cast to help Nisha. Spirit Vessel's on Nisha, but he does successfully get back. Look at him, he's actually sticking around to make sure Puppy is going to join him inside of the fountain, but it is still LGD owning the base at this point.
6 seconds now for the out.
A tier 3 to fall, probably a melee racks as well.
No.
Oh, no.
Nah, man. Alex back. This is what I meant. They held. This was the scariest part of the game for them now. Now, Secret's chances just went up like another 10%. Not even kidding. Like, despite the fact that it looked like that fight was terrible, which it was, their chances just straight up went another 10%.
The fact that they didn't lose the game.
Yeah. You didn't get racks there with the Aegis Storm. With the Aegis Storm and more BKB timers, like, you're at least holding for a little bit longer. You've extended the game for yourself potentially for another 10 minutes.
Seems like LGD's okay with the pace kind of going. They're already looking at that third Roshan potentially.
Yeah, the good news for them is that they still have ways to burst mid one. Like, the Alk is strong enough, or the Ursa's strong enough right now at this point in the game that if he gets on top of the Alchemist, he just straight up dies.
What do you think about his build? He's not actually going Abyssal, he's going MKB.
I like it. I think it's because he realizes that eventually his timer's going to get a lot lower. Yeah. And he needs more damage.
He doesn't need more disable. He just needs more burst damage.
Like, they have a lot of disable. They've got the 2 best disable support pairings in Dota, like Shaman plus Earthshaker. Do you really need more disable than that?
Yeah.
Combined, they can put out like 15 straight seconds. On top of that, you just finished a Hex on a Chalice.
Really big. Look at this setup. Secret are invading into the jungle right now as the bounty runes are about to spawn, and LGD need to be careful. Ame's actually going to try and go for the kill. He gets telekinesis first. The pullback of the hook is going to be able to save Yapster for a moment, but long range ensnares keeping Yapster stuck. Ame is able to get that kill. And now with the extra members being brought in, such as Chalice, Secret.
So you traded Yapster for a BKB charge on Ursa? I'd say that's not terrible.
And a lot of tier 3 damage in the top lane. It looks like Puppy is also going to be dying here. Mid one does manage to get the stun onto the Storm, which forces him back. They protect that tier 3 tower at top lane.
That's well done. Man, maybe he plays such a good Storm. Ah, my bad. I can't host anymore.
Oh, no.
Maybe he plays a really good Storm, though. Like, that aggressive maneuver, because supports always feel safe in their base against Storm Spirit. And let me tell you guys, you never are. And I hope you all die at some point for it.
I mean, because it's so unintuitive to the way Dota works against every other hero. Every other hero, they're not able to dive the base and not get punished for it, but
I love it.
Storm Spirit.
I love it, honestly.
Breaking the rules of Dota.
I do, Cap. I loves it. You have to TP your entire team in just to save Puppy. I mean, Puppy's walking around arrogantly with his 2 bracers. In his base.
5, he's got 3,000 net worth. What do you mean?
Do you see the way that he itemized? No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't deserve that. I'm sorry.
11,000 net worth lead right now for LGD, 28-16. But we are closing in on that 35-minute marker that Tsunami put out. Blitz putting it a little bit later, probably because the rather large net worth lead by LGD means this game is going to have to go a lot later for Secret.
I did say they bought themselves another 10 minutes, which I think I was correct on. Because at minimum, like, if you lose one big fight as LGD, the game turns around. And every team always knows that. Like, you're always one fight away from turning the game around. So you're going to wait for the thing that ensures that one fight to go well. Which is
why we see teams be so cautious when they have a lead like this and they just build it and build it and build it.
Was that like famous Artosis quote? It's like, when you're ahead, get further ahead. And the best way to get further ahead is Aegis. And teams always know that. Like, every team in Dota knows that, right? It's like, well, if we want to go high ground again, like, this is our, this is the life that we'll use to be able to do so.
Ooh, Shiva's now in the Storm, so an extra bit of burst damage. He's going to be able to see all of these heroes, even if they're hiding in the trees. And then on top of that, the turnaround potential gets slimmer and slimmer for Secret is
Oh,
now
nice.
a heavy amount of armor increase for the Storm.
I like this, by the way. Alks decided to go for armor now. He really needed it. That's why,
Yeah.
like, going for the BKB, it's nice, and it delays the game from just straight up ending, but you really needed some sort of armor against Ursa Storm.
Yeah, you just can't keep on dying to the Ursa straight up.
Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, the Ursa BKB charges are important, because while you have them, the Alp can't regen off of you with the Radiance. You don't really care about the mischance or anything like that. Everything just kind of feels nice.
Yeah.
By the way, Ame is so farmed. And he's done such a good job of keeping up in net worth without a flash farm hero. And it's not even like he's getting like an insane amount of kills. Like 9, 2, and 8 is very impressive. But, you know, he's just farming well. Good farming patterns, hitting a lot of Ancients.
Yeah, you can see he's way above the average net worth for Storms at this time. Aegis, Cheese,
What?
and a Refresher Shard.
I meant Ame, but yeah, maybe he's great too. He's really farmed.
Wait, weren't you talking about Storm?
Nah.
Oh, shit, I just assumed you were talking about Storm.
Oh, boy. That tells me a lot. Nah, dude, I'm trying not to. This bottom lane, though, this push, I don't think this is easily defendable, but mid one's going to go
I
for
can't
it.
believe Secret's really going for it. I thought they were
Oh,
just going to
boy.
stay in the high ground. They're going to go for it. Puppey is immediately going to be targeted here. The Echo Slam a little bit
It
too
whiffs.
late. The BKB went down from Nisha, and Nisha tries to kill off White, but he had the cheese, so he's going to be able to keep himself alive a little bit longer. Yule Scepter goes down. They had the concoction, slowing down this Ursa as much as possible, but Zai will eventually die. Still, though, the two carries of Nisha and mid one aren't going at it, and they are able to kill one of the supports, but now Nisha gets ripped apart between a Spirit Vessel and Ame's damage. That was an insane
gotta
amount
get
of
Ame.
burst, but they got to get out of here. They got to stop Ame from being able to blink away. Nisha will stay on top of him. No Aegis for him. He's going to come back in his second life. They're going to get some instant damage. They have the Acid as well as the Dismember from Zai to make sure this BKB's not going to do a whole lot. But now look at Storm. He zips back in, gets the Rubik. He sees a very low Alchemist as well at half HP with the Spirit Vessel on him. He's not regenerating at all, and he can't actually get off the concoction. He dies. Zai's up next, and they have no buybacks whatsoever. This is looking like the end for Team Secret. Not holding on to the high ground. They take a risk. They go outside of their base to defend a tier 2 to try and catch LGD by surprise.
Oh.
But LGD had their pants firmly buckled up high. They did not get caught with them down.
I am so surprised they decided to take that fight. I was thinking to myself, like, this seems pretty low percentage, and you saw they were trying to all in on the Storm there, but, you know, he felt so comfortable in this game that he didn't get a single defensive item. Like, he's like, I'm not dying, guys. Storm has so much armor. He's got 30 armor in this game, 2.5k health. If you don't instantly lock him down, this is what happens. Puppey feeds himself away too. They're getting doubled up on in terms of kills, and their greedy lineup was definitely punished.
LGD looking very good with the similar kind of strategy of game 1, but executed a lot differently. Different heroes as well. A more active, I would say, carry in Storm Spirit, like, compared to the Naga Siren, who just really couldn't get into the fights ever.
Yeah, and this is what it looks like when greed gets punished.
Yeah.
Picking the Alk after the morph and the heroes that they have, you will not
Spirit
scare.
Vessel, okay, we're going to have the meat hook to be able to pull back that Alchemist. Apparently Secret's going to be able to defend to the bitter end here, even though they've been mega. There's no tier 4s up. Zai's going to end up dying here. The Echo Slam's going to ensure the Alchemist doesn't make it out alive either. Puppey right outside of his fountain, and it's not even safe. Nisha comes in to make sure he's going to join the rest of his team in the grave as they're going to call GG here for game 2. Maybe even trying to dive Yapzor, but fortunately Throne dies before Yapzor does. LGD does indeed push it to a game 3.
I really love that they weren't afraid of the Pudge, by the way.
Yeah.
You gotta make a stand somewhere in drafts. You can't just say, like, you're gonna first 2 Pudge. Oh well, I guess we have to ban it every. You know what? Every like person on Reddit and whatever the Chinese version of it is, like, they say, like, why didn't you just ban Pudge? How did you just lose to a target? You gotta draw the line in the sand somewhere and be like, we can't let you get away with first 2 picking Pudge every game and winning. Like,
Not today,
This is not
Secret.
how the tournament works. We're not letting you do this. Not in the upper bracket. Like, you have to take that risk, and they did. I love that they did. Sometimes people get criticized, like captains will get criticized for saying, like, how do you just let what just beat you slip through again? But that's where, like, the beauty of Secrets, like, Feint comes in, right? Because then teams will start to overanalyze the Pudge and be like, that must be the cornerstone, without realizing, like, well, they also took Morph for Nisha. They took Rubik for Yapzor. Now you have all these things to look at. By being able to beat the Pudge, it's the same thing as VP did when they beat the Dro yesterday. It's like, well, we now firmly are back in the driver's seat in terms of drafting. Like, now it's time for you to respond to us.
Is Secret's greed going to be the downfall for them into the lower bracket, or will they figure out how to beat LGD's 4 Protect 1? We'll see, as Game 3 is coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MDL Disneyland Paris Major. My name is Sir Acton Slacks, and what a game we saw for Game 2. That's what we were expecting from LGD. They really came out swinging, am I right? This is Gods, of course, and Tsunami joining me on the panel. Gentlemen, a pleasure as always, an honor, I would even say. An esteemed honor to be here with you today. Anyway, tell me
what
about
makes
that.
an honor slot?
An honor?
Please keep
Gods?
praising us.
For Gods, the CEO of Beyond the Summit, the oldest Australian caster, the best Australian caster? Sorry, Toby. Yeah, tell me about that last game, gentlemen.
Yeah, LGD did not get tripped up by themselves. They picked a draft that we saw potential in, which was not the case in Game 1. We saw no potential in Game 1's draft. We were skeptical how shaken they would have been in Game 1, but it looks like they put it behind themselves very, very quickly.
Yeah. And I think the thing that was good about the draft is they just have actual playmakers on some of their key players. Like maybe on Storm Spirit versus maybe on Bat Rider is just night and day.
Yes.
They had ways to win the game off of the Storm Spirit's good game. Chalice with his Nature's Prophet, he itemized for this fast Spirit Vessel, which completely changed the game, destroys Alchemist, can destroy Morphling, or for the most part. And it just made the game so much easier for LG to play when they can actually make these moves.
Right, mobility was a big part of that game. It really seemed like there were moments where Secret might be turning it around, and then we saw the Storm just coming out of nowhere. Was it really all on the back of Storm, though? There were some other iconic heroes. You had the FY Shaker, for instance. What'd you think about those other hero selections, Tsunami? Anything stand out?
I think one that Blitz was mentioning is that they're proving that they're not scared of the Pudge. So they were able to pick this Ursa. Initially, we were like, well, that doesn't really necessarily match up against the Morphling, but it wasn't about the Morphling. It was making sure that they could lane matchup, and they shut down the Pudge, make sure that Zod doesn't get out of control. I think he was level 4 by the time that the Ursa was like level 7 or something like that. And so everyone had their own part. And yeah, like you mentioned, the support staff as well, FY on his Shake was doing a fantastic job.
Now, this is a very exciting opportunity because the first game we saw LGD kind of get pushed off, even though they had a lot of their comfort picks. This time, a lot of secret comfort picks, and they still got beaten. Let's go ahead and check out these replays here. And, yeah, gentlemen, early game, looking pretty even yet again.
I mean, here, looking at the CS, it tells a different story in a way. Like, all top 3 last hits in the LGD camp. They're already up 1k gold at 5 minutes in. And you don't expect to have an amazing good start with Alchemist, but you also don't want to have that poor of a start. LGD just came online incredibly fast. And unlike last game, all 3 of their cores had a good laning stage. We saw Chalice, who was on a big key playmaker, the Sand King, have a bad lane, and he couldn't impact the game. This time around, all 3 LGD cores were able to have an impact.
Yeah, initially, we weren't entirely sure how they were going to give farm priority to the Prophet, the Shaman, and the Shaker, but I think the decision to give Chalice the Nature's Prophet was by far the best because, like you mentioned, that early Spirit Vessel just made it so difficult for who are typical very, very survivable heroes of the Morphling and the Alchemist just to look incredibly vulnerable at all stages.
Yeah, you guys were talking about that Witch Doctor Death Ward. He'd never get a full duration one. He certainly did there, and it did literally nothing. So,
yeah,
you were right.
I mean, Puppy's damage at the end of the game was actually not too bad. He kind of, I think, out-damaged some of his teammates. Yeah, he was, third on his team, did more damage than the Zai Pud. Yapzor Rubik is normally, one of those players that's stealing all kinds of spells and dishing out some good damage. So
I mean, he had to go a defensive item. Yapzor going a defensive item of a Glimmer Cape? Unprecedented.
Oh.
I mean, the big downfall of this secret draft was a hero that's worked twice is the Pudge. Zai's Pudge didn't have a game, didn't feel like a core hero at any point in this game, was constantly bottom 3, bottom 4 net worth, and by a big margin. Like here, you can see Shaker, 7.3 Candidate worth, Pudge 4.5. He just didn't have a game. 0-13 on Zai. It's a hero that not a lot of teams are picking and playing, and I think it can work. We've seen it. It's just hit or miss.
But that is kind of the strength of Team Secret, right? They can pick these non-meta heroes. They can go through these games, and then when it's time to pick meta heroes, they seem to have that under their belt as well. But as you guys can see, this is the game wrapping up. You guys nailed it. The Storm Spirit is just all over the place, just dominating this. And I don't think there's a worse feeling than being a Witch Doctor that doesn't have a lot of farm and XP. I mean, you're just dead, right?
Against the Storm Spirit, 100%.
Yeah, not much you could do.
And that's where the Storm was such a great pick this game, because they picked it at a time where there wasn't much lockdown and control. Rubik getting a Glimmer Cape first, even if he was having a better game and Secret were doing well, he may have to do this anyways, because Storm is just one of those heroes that's always going to jump the back lines, go on Rapsol's Rubik, take him out of the fight, unless you have an item like that Glimmer Cape. So it was always going to be a very difficult game for the Secret supports when the cores do not match up against the Storm.
Right. Even in this moment here where it looks like Team Secret has an ability to turn around, Storm is just on the back line, as you just said. Just tearing it up.
And Ursa takes too much focus. It was his moment that he was able to use the Refresh Shard after losing his Aegis.
Ooh.
Used another BKB, used another Enrage, and you just have to put so much damage into him to finally get rid of the Ursa.
I actually think Ursa's okay versus Morphling too. I don't mind that core-to-core matchup. Like I think the Lifestealer one's worse than the Ursa one.
Or are you okay with this one?
Just the damage build up with the Fury swipes, like one of those things, like, you know, as a Morphling, if you're getting gone on, you just do all this Morph Strength. Ursa's just going to keep building up his damage. The Basher also gives you an instant lockdown too, so like when you jump on him, or if you ever do get on top of the Morphling, you have got that extra bit of added control and burst damage. Lifestealer has no burst damage. You don't have any kill threat on the Morphling, and Ursa actually has some kill threat on Morphling that the Morph has to be a little bit scared of and play around.
Yeah, under the span of like a 3-second disable, and Ursa has a much higher probability of killing a Morphling than in Lifestealer
like
does.
You've got a Shaman on your team. If Shaman gets a Hex into Shackles on this Morphling before he starts morphing Strength, with Ursa right-clicking, that's a kill. With a Lifestealer, maybe not.
And even if he does start morphing Strength, it's like, what, maybe like 5 more Fury swipes and you're going to burn through it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at this stats page here from our last game. As you guys said, this Ursa had some kill potential, and we certainly saw it. 14 kills for Ame there, and yeah, everybody on LGD, pretty much the story is they did amazing.
0 deaths for maybe.
Hello. Woo. That's pretty big. On a Storm, that is not what you want to see. Surprised we didn't see the multiple Bloodstones, though, right? That's a pro gamer thing, right, Tsunami?
I have not been convinced yet.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised. Pleased we didn't see it.
Yeah, to an extent, I think it was almost like the turbo meta defining the real meta, because I think people were building in turbo and they're like, I wonder if I can farm this up in a real game. But more often than not, you need some sort of control item. An Orchid. And Kaya is still, I think people are still getting a feel for it, like how good it is now. Do you want to get a Bloodstone earlier? Is the Kaya still worth it? I hear arguments that it's playstyle based, but every single time I watch a professional game, everyone's building the Kaya first.
And I think the big takeaway from that stats page was probably, as you guys were saying, Zai just didn't really have a game. 0 and 13. Nothing on that one. And it's kind of the opposite of game 1. He was all over that one. So
now is it going to be... Blitz was mentioning sometimes it's stubbornness of enemy captains to let what beat you in game 1 get into game 2, but also it is stubbornness of other captains to be, yeah, you beat this hero, but I'm pretty sure I can pick it again, and you won't know how to beat it in game 3. So will we get a third Pudge or not?
I don't think we'll get a first 2 Pudge.
No. A third Pudge pick.
Pudge
in game 3.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think
skeptical.
It was a weak point of their draft. Seems it's just too easily punished in the laning stage in the game. If you're not getting those kills, building a flesh heap, the hero does seem a whole lot weaker. I mean, he doesn't have any farming or lane shoving capabilities from your 3 position. That's not really great when you're just entirely reliant on setting up kills for your team with a unreliable hook initiation. So I'm not convinced by the Pudge pick.
Yeah, unless they can save it for like a second or third phase, I agree.
However, if there's one stubborn man that continues to pick things despite them losing, Puppy's won enough majors.
Dude, this is the pupper zone.
We're in the pupper zone right now. It's like the Twilight Zone, which I believe is a Disney property. If I'm right. Tower of Terror, right? Twilight Zone intro?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Anyway, we're in the pupper zone right now. I could see it coming again, Tsunami. I'll go on the Pudge train for game 3.
All right.
He knows it can work.
He knows a lot of things.
He knows more than I'll ever know.
He's forgotten more than you'll ever know.
Oh, that's unnecessary. don't think that's...
I think
need to bring that up.
there's probably a good chance we see Secret ban out that Nature's Prophet. I think it's a very problematic hero in the draft because it's a flex pick, so you can run as a support, a core. It built the really pesky items this game in the Spirit Vessel. It gave them such flexibility with their lanes. It's not like the hero that won LGD the game by any means, but it's the hero from that first pick stage that fits LGD's draft so well and can fit so many different drafts, and it's so easy to pick it in the first stage while revealing nothing that you're doing.
Agreed. So, gents, we got a little bit of time while the players are taking their time to get into the lobby. Tell me about your games, Tsunami. What are you spamming right now in your Dota games?
Ooh, that's so I historically never, if a hero's ever OP, then I refuse to pick it.
Yeah?
The only era that I ever picked a top tier hero was whenever Lycan was the just ward his jungle meme, where you would just go in, get a 9-minute Vlad's, take Roche at like 11 minutes. That's the only time that I was ever guilty of it. And so a lot of the problem is right now my favorite heroes are very good right now.
Oh,
and so I am still kind of getting a feel for where my place in the 7.21D meta belongs.
You're trying to find the hipster heroes.
Exactly.
Wow.
The ones that are going to be good next patch that I will have to stop
And so
playing
you're
afterwards.
you're like, you want to play it before it gets cool.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
That's my thing.
Dang. Well, you got some real competition. I mean, hipster for Tsunami and then hipster versus Gods, who I consider to be the original Dota hipster. So that's pretty tough. What are you playing right now, Gods?
Dota is
I'm
the
playing
hipster of paying attention to SEA when no one else wanted
That's
to.
true, yeah.
That is true.
Let me tell you about Dota 1 and Sentinel. And
You've been riding
Shadow
that wave
Blades
for
and-
7 years ever since.
Yeah. Back in my day. I'm playing a lot of the same stuff. Wraith King. He's probably one of my favorites still.
Is
The
it?
little skeletons.
Core
they
or
just go,
support?
That's core. They just go around. They farm gold for you. They kill heroes sometimes. They do little dances with the taunt. It's great. Wraith King's a lot of fun.
Wraith King skeletons make me sad because it's much like my real life. A bunch of people are gathered around me. They're laughing. They're having a good time. And then they just kind of all move away. And then I'm just there and I'm like, hey, where are you guys going? And they don't pay any attention. They just move on to a different party. So it's much like my events after the games are done every single time. But don't worry. The games are teams are heading in. I would like to share. Tsunami, I'm the same way. I don't like picking new heroes or anything because they're going to get nerfed anyway. What's the point? But Mars.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm a Mars boy. I love him. I cannot wait till that hero's in captain's mode. Oh my goodness gracious.
Do you think it's balanced?
It's fine. That hero is Garbo in some ways. And others, I mean, he's real good. But I cannot wait. You guys like any of that Mars? Think we'll be seeing it soon?
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like that he's pretty simple and straightforward too. Like there was this trend for like the last 2 or 3 new heroes that they had these spells that did all these crazy complex things. I was just like, when you hover over their skill and it's like 2 paragraphs describing what the skill does,
Yeah.
I don't want to read. I want to play Dota.
Dark Willow is like 2 ultimates. Arc Warden, I have to play 2 heroes. What's going on
Yeah,
here?
it was like, what, Dark Willow, Arc Warden, and then Oracle was a fairly newish hero
Yeah.
too.
Pangolier introduced vector targeting or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know what
I
this
still don't
is.
know how to do vector targeting. I'm never going to touch vector.
Yeah, have you played Darkseer yet? It's a nightmare now.
Yeah. Every time a new player asks me, they say, hey, we want to get into this game. I say, okay, read Ancient Apparition's ultimate description, and if you can make it through that, I'll teach you Dota. And I've only had 2 people do it out of 30, all right? It's too much. But anyway, so gentlemen, the game is nearly about to begin. Our drafting phase is nearly in. I want to hear some wild predictions. Will Nyx Assassin get picked? Tsunami. This is what you've been waiting for. For 3 days, this man would not shut up about people picking Nyx Assassin. Nyx. No. No, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Secret got it. They're the
Yeah,
only team.
That's what I thought, but it's not proven to be useful for them. I mean, now that they've lost, maybe it's a game 3 type situation where, it's all on the line. Might as well figure out why no one else is picking it, but I don't know what the deal is.
You know, fun lore fact about Nyx.
Okay.
Maybe you didn't know. Did you know that every time you pick Nyx, he's the only hero in the game like this, where when he dies, he's replaced by another Nyx Assassin?
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't actually respawn. Every other hero does except for Nyx. It's a brand new Nyx that's funneled in every time.
Wow.
Get the old Nyx's items.
Well, that's the god Nick Tosh. Wait, wrong. Oh, no, now I'm confused. But no, he does get the items. Yes.
Gets the items.
They just pass it along. That's how it works. So, pretty neat. Also, you know where Nyx Assassin's eyes are? He actually does have eyes. Look up at the top of the jaw. See a little dot. He has eyes there. Once you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it. I'm telling you, boys. keep an eye out for it.
And isn't it true that, like, whenever he's talking, it's all telepathic?
That's right. He can't actually speak. It's all in your mind. Much like, well, you know, this panel. We don't actually exist. The world is a simulation. It's all in your mind. Don't let that freak you out, though, because we actually do have, finally, a draft as we go into our first ban. We have not been holding this back from you. I assure you, our talk of the metaphysical world, it's probably too much for a Disney broadcast. Let's keep it simple and happy, boys.
Is the draft even real, though?
Are we even real? I think so.
It is real. It just showed up on screen.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's real for sure. All right, Drought Ranger going to be banned out first. Of course, anytime that drought was in, just too powerful. Ice Frog, please nerf at the end of the major.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for LGD is that they have first pick, but I guess they just don't feel confident in their own ability to play a first pick Drought Ranger. I think if that is going to be like the hero of the tournament, your team needs to be able to first pick it. If it's just otherwise, if you're first pick and you're banning a hero that you're meant to first pick, that's a drafting problem. That's like what EG, CDC at the TI in the grand finals, where CDC had to ban Leshrac because they couldn't play it.
Leshrac.
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't feel good when there's this hero that's at the top of the charts, must pick worthy, and you can't execute it yourself. It just puts you in a bit of a small hole.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you said you've been spamming Wraith King, but as a former Visage spammer, why is Drow Ranger, despite her popularity, never being picked with Visage? I know his familiars got nerfed, but
there's no real synergy between the two now that the Drow Aura doesn't give damage. There obviously is because you can give them attack speed, but those birds already hit incredibly fast.
Right.
So they don't benefit from the attack speed the way they do with the damage.
I see.
And then, because they're not giving damage, stuff like damage block, whether it's Crimson Guard, Vanguards, even just Stout Shield, double Stout Shield, means they literally do no damage. And you can give them all the attack. You can give them plus 300 attack speed. They still do no damage.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a combo you want to pick or play, particularly because you need to run Visage as a core, and then you've got Visage, Drow core.
Then you've got Visage period, who we have not seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eternity.
What happened to those days? I remember Summit 4, the Great Eternal Envy. I had no idea about Dota, and they kept winning with Drow Visage, and I asked him, Envy, teach me about Dota. How do I get better? I'm only like my MMR was 1,800 at the time. And Envy said, look, Drow Visage, you can win any game. Even I can win, and I'm awful. So
direct quote.
That literally stuck with me. He said that direct quote. What happened to Visage? Drow Visage used to be the meta. Even EE could win with it. Where is it now?
Now both of them are in the dumpster.
Oh, no.
Drow's not in the dumpster.
well, as
the band dumpster,
as
maybe.
A unit, the teams that these two
Drow
duos are on.
Drow dropped off Visage in the dumpster and then went off to her luxury apartment.
That's what happened with IOCK also. IO moved on to bigger, better things.
Yep.
Oh, man. Heartbreaking stuff there. But let's talk a little bit more about the bans. Of course, we're going to see that Respect ban out from the Team Secret patented support, Abaddon. Also, can't be given any Enigmas away right now in the current patch. Big Respect ban going for the second ban on Storm Spirit. Really made a big showing in that last series. Can't let them have it this time. So I'm doing it to you again, Tsunami.
Hit me.
Still haven't seen the Nyx ban.
This
could be it.
At this point, it's just beating a dead horse.
No, come on, bro. If they pick it, can we get a Nyx impression on the panel?
Sure.
Great. It is very hard. You do have to say his name.
Doesn't matter because it's not going to happen.
It's definitely going to happen. I'm feeling the Disney magic. I'm looking and wishing upon a star. And, old Jiminy Cricket, he's going to make this one happen for us, boys.
I think it's Warner Brothers.
What? Jiminy Cricket?
Is he not?
No, he's Pinocchio's friend.
Yeah, never mind.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm thinking of that other frog thing.
Goodness gracious. If I was able to curse and not get fired, you would be having quite a thrashing right now. Gosh darn it. We do have Nature's Prophet picked up a staple of that last game, doing tremendous early game damage and making things happen.
Yeah. This is kind of the hero suggested Secret might want to ban from last game, but they chose the Storm instead. The nice thing here is there's a lot of 5 positions that are strong left in the pool. The Oracle's still there as well, but they're going to go Rubik Sand King. Sticking with the Rubik, I don't think the Rubik opening against Nature's Prophet is just going to remain solid regardless. Yeah. And there's going to be good spells to steal.
And we do have the Sand King picked up. I think this is the hero of the tournament, boys. He seems to be in almost every game.
Not Drow?
I mean, Drow is the hero that everyone hates, but Sand King's the one that we always see get picked and move along and make stuff happen.
Yeah, Sand King's not worth banning really ever, but he's always worth picking.
Sounds like a metaphor for my career. Never worth really banning.
I mean, I guess we'll hire Slacks.
Not worth picking.
Who else is there, though?
Okay, we got another pick here coming out from LGD, kind of the giving us away a little bit in their strategy. Any predictions here? Who goes good with Prophet? Pretty much anybody, right?
Well, this is a flex pick again. They can give it a support role, or they can give it a Chalice again. So there's a lot of flexibility in what direction they want to go with it.
They might just want to pick FY's here since he's not the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, exactly.
The Nature's Prophet is either a 5 or like a
3,
core,
yeah.
3 probably. So picking your 4, and it's the Shaker again. Doesn't reveal too much.
Nope.
I was looking at the 4s, I'm like, what else would you go other than Shaker?
Yeah.
The Knicks, I guess.
Please. We've been hyping this up so much. Please.
Shaker's just, it worked last game, and there's no reason not to pick Shaker against the Rubik Sand King.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. If I had FY on my team, I'd pick Shaker almost every game. So, gonna see the Ember Spirit banned out as well. Have seen a lot of Ember. You know what we have not seen in this series that is a staple of Team Secret, especially in this tournament? No! Stop bringing him up. Monkey King. Monkey King mid one has been rocking that hero for months, and he's very, very good. Not made an appearance yet, though, in this series. Wonder why. OD has been banned out as well.
Yeah, there's only been a couple Monkey Kings at this tournament I've seen. It's a hero that was very popular for a little while, didn't receive too many major nerfs, but just teams kind of strayed away from him a bit.
Only if it's a comfort thing, which is why we saw it on Topson, because it's a comfort pick for him.
Yep.
I think mid one kind of took it up just because it was meta. I don't know if he particularly enjoys the hero, but it's also very matchup dependent, I think. You need to have a good mid lane opponent to really take advantage of a mid lane Monkey King.
Right, you can't just pick it against anything.
Yeah, and he actually matches up kind of close to 50-50 against a lot of those ranged heroes now, but you don't want to, like, you pick Monkey normally because you want to dominate your lane, whether it's running him safe lane against those melee offlaners or running him mid against, like, you know, the Ember Spirit type heroes.
Exactly.
If your Monkey's just going farm and having a 50-50 lane, you don't feel like the pick is necessarily justified. It's a hero that does best when it's snowballing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder if we're going to see... Oh, Naga Siren banned out. Interesting. I haven't seen Secret really run too much Naga at all. That's been right down to Ame's book, so surprised that they took that one out. Maybe that's a sign that they're a little worried about illusion heroes? That doesn't make any sense. Or Shaker's real good against those. Help me, boys. I'm digging myself a hole and I don't see the ladder.
May have just been something they've seen Nisha do, whether it's in scrims or wherever else. It's as much as, like, yeah, you've got Shaker against an illusion here. Often those illusions are split pushing, and the power of Naga is just how fast you farm. That's something Shaker does not deal with and does not address.
Mm-hmm. So we're waiting for our last man, Tsunami. This is the moment.
Oh, yeah?
This is the last time we're bringing it up.
Okay.
I promise you.
Let's hear it.
This is the ban where you have to ban Nyx. If Nyx doesn't get banned here, it's over.
Both teams have their 4s.
But he could be a 5. Or a mid. Even a carry.
I could see Puppy. Puppy's played it before.
Yeah, actually. I remember the most famous instance of Puppy drafting Nyx. Now, I don't know if he played it, but that the TI game where it was against Coddle. And he was ahead of his time because that was the time where it was the first instance of damage is the thing that's carapaced, and then nothing else gets carapaced, which was a terrible iteration of carapace, and ultimately did not win him that game or that TI.
Guys, I believe we are going to be fired. They are probably not even going to ban Nyx, nor nonetheless pick it. And we have spent, I believe, 60% of the panel talking about this hero. We are in trouble.
Who's we?
We, as a unit, are in trouble. Oracle getting picked up.
Oh, that's finally. Okay, so I think one thing that has kind of been lacking in LGD's most recent games is that X-Nova wasn't really able to pop off. And in his Mineski series, he was looking fantastic. He was looking like the MVP. And more often than not, it was on the Oracle.
This Oracle causes them a ton of problems because they don't have any of their heroes don't get to Oracle right now.
Yep.
The Storm is banned out. That's saying that Secret maybe would have considered against the Oracle. And LG is going to pick some power carry that is just going to benefit and be enabled because there's this save sitting behind him, whether that's like the Terror Blade, whether it's something that can just run in, play hyper-aggressive like the Ursa we've seen. There's just so many heroes that are going to have a great game because they have an Oracle in their team.
Oh, and there it is. Finally, we see that Monkey King coming out from mid.
You've redeemed yourself. The Knicks hope were in a bit of a hot spot, but now there's a Monkey King. Slax, you're saved.
Thank you for the power, Mickey. Coursing through my veins. I knew I'd get something right on this panel. So, Monkey King is picked up. Now, you guys were making a big point saying that you can't just pick that into any old draft. That is a way for them to be able to jump on Oracle now, something that they were missing, but it's not really the best, is it?
It's decent. I think the way Monkey King play has changed and evolved over the past years is it's no longer this like, there's a period where people going Battle Fury and all these like right-click damaging builds. Now it's much more about the ability to completely wave clear. We see a lot of the, like you get 2 points in Jingu and maybe 2 points in Balance Strikes and max the pounce for that instant wave clear potential. And like you say, jumping on the back lines, going on the Oracle, it's always so key to have somebody who can get there and just make the fight a bit more disruptive.
We haven't seen it particularly frequently. How do you consider the SF versus Monkey King matchup?
Ooh.
I don't know. I would say it's Monkey does fine there. I think SF also, I think both heroes should do fine in that matchup. Maybe Monkey does slightly better at early levels until SF gets solved.
I think I agree with that.
It looks like we're going to see Leshrac mid though. Maybe Leshrac. He's going to be kind of that raid boss mid lane and front liner who's going to benefit from having the Oracle behind him. Both cores will benefit from this Oracle, whether it's Leshrac running in, doing all kinds of crazy AoE damage, and I think Monkey will struggle a little bit against this Leshrac. Yeah,
the reason I suggested the Shadow Fiend is because I want someone else who has a heal. Leshrac doesn't really provide that. I want someone who can take advantage of this false promise. So, SF with the Greaves build is often nice.
I see.
I think maybe like a Juggernaut with a healing ward, maybe not bad for LGD.
Yeah, man. I mean, they certainly have a lot of team fight on Team Secret. Monkey King ult into a Sand King stun and Witch Doctor to keep them in there as well. It is nice, but LGD looks like they could just blow people up right now. That's going to be a lot of damage coming out, and really your only heals and saves is Witch Doctor's awful healing. So, I don't know. You disagree, Gons? You think they got enough to sustain LGD's lineup?
I mean, I'm liking LGD's draft a lot more right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Troll Band definitely guaranteed with the Oracle.
Yeah. Can't do that. What about Huskar, though, huh? Bring him back out from the basement?
Teams have proposed it.
Yeah, I'm just not. I think if you're picking Huskar, it's like to destroy a mid matchup. And even that, I don't think he's actually a mid lane dominator like he once was. So.
Yeah, especially against a Monkey King. I actually don't know. I think Monkey King almost wins that, maybe.
Yeah. Like level 1.
Yeah, level 1. Yeah,
until you get a few points in those Burning Spears.
Right. Although, I guess Inner Fire, the disarm, could be pretty irritating for a Monkey King.
Yeah. But Medusa Band, I think recognizing that secret. Monkey King's not that guy that's going to carry this game. They need that big Nisha carry, whether it's the Morphling, which LGD are not afraid of. They've got so much magic damage, burst potential from the Shaker, who can Blink Echo, Leshrac, that they actually have heroes decently equipped to pressure a Morphling.
Ooh, I have an idea. Team Secret, would this be a good anti-mage game? Leshrac, very mana dependent, so is Earthshaker. Going to be seeing a lot of that. Good ways out.
Depending on the carry matchup. They don't know what LGD is picking yet. If LGD get a hero that AM matches up well against, then sure.
But if they pick like a Terrorblade, then no.
And you're playing AM into a Core Nature's Prophet, who's one of the strongest laning 3 positions in the game, and that's the AMs we've seen have a lot of success this term. I think they were like undefeated. Someone was telling me.
Yeah, very strong.
But the thing with AM is you pick it when it's a good AM game.
You pick
as
it when
a
you can
fit.
win. Yeah.
So you're not going to pick AM in a bad AM game. So it's a hero that should have a high win rate and should be picked in good games.
Makes sense to me. And there we go. Morphling has been picked up.
Huh. What do they want now? I mean, it could be that Morphling makes it slightly more okay aim game because the pace is slowed down a bit, but I think I'd rather see like a Terrorblade for Nisha.
Yeah, we have seen him rock that one before and have some people that he could blow up before they get their essential skills off. Anything you thinking, Tsunami, for that last snipe?
I think they're kind of lacking in push, and I think they have run Arc Warden on Nisha.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, Arc Warden, that's correct, sir. Could be pretty good.
I'm not a fan of the hero personally, but in this situation, I think it's pretty strong.
Any reason why you're not a fan?
I think anytime you win with an Arc Warden, you would have won with like 90% of other carries. But they end up going for that anti-mage.
Hey, we sniped it. Got him. All right, so the anti-mage is picked up. Makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, having the ability to jump on top of that Oracle, make sure that Leshrac gets punished. Gentlemen, what are you thinking about these?
It also allows you to just not also take the 5v5 fights where LGD just set themselves up where carries are in front, Oracle position behind where you can't get to him. AM can split push. He can just split the map a lot better, keep up and farm, and like you say, blink on the backlines when those fights do happen. If Oracle ever does get out of position, AM's found himself a good target to go on. So,
absolutely.
I think it's a good pick for Secret. I still would slightly give LGD an edge with their draft though.
All right.
I think I'm inclined to agree. Even though Anti-Mage has had theoretically an unbeatable track record at this tournament, I think this will probably be the biggest test for the hero in terms of draft. And this is probably the most even draft between the two teams that we've seen throughout the series, mainly because there's no Pudge cheese going on, stuff like that. But it's a typical Tier 1 draft, but I'm leaning towards LGD.
All right, well, the time has come. Team Secret has gone undefeated so far. This last game was their first lost game, but it could be their first lost series. We will find out very soon. Let's go ahead and bring in our top tier casters. We've got Blitz and Capitalist.
Just what we wanted to see. Team Secret versus LGD, Game 3. We'll see whether or not it's going to be an even game, because Game 1 was certainly one-sided to Team Secret's favor. Game 2 to LGD. So, Blitz, are we going to have an even game? How do you feel about the draft?
Let me see. I think I prefer LGD's draft. Again, I'm not sure. I think this draft is much closer. Like the panel agreed. I thought both drafts were pretty one-sided once we saw them.
Yeah.
Me and Cap usually just watch from behind and we give each other our thoughts, and we're pretty correct on both. But this one I think is probably the closest draft, or at least the one that should theoretically be the closest.
How do you feel about the Animage last pick against Lesh, against Furion, against Morphling? That's a lot of good heroes for an Animage, right?
I don't think the Morph AM one is as one-sided.
Not as much as it used to be. Right now, it's
before it was if you picked Anti-Mage against Morph, it was 80-20 loss.
Yeah.
Now I think it's still very good for AM, which is why they picked it last, because obviously you morph into Morph himself, or you can morph into Anti-Mage, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Because you become a melee hero now.
And Morph may not be as dependent as he once was on mana. Still kind of needs it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's the classic Animage versus Spectre timing, right? It's your Animage is going to get 4 items, and your Morph is only going to be at 2.
Shout out, by the way, to both of our observers, JJ and Karo.
You've done a good job making sure that we look competent at our job. I was going to say good, but I figure competence may be a little bit more fair.
Yeah. Casting with a good obs is actually so easy. Oh, as maybe.
So we switched up the lanes. Animage, just like, was that VP versus Liquid? Wait, what game was it that we had a mid AM that just destroyed Ember Spirit?
It was Liquid versus Keen Game 2.
Liquid versus Keen. Just like Liquid did, Secret are going to do that here. But the matchup's not that easy. I'm presuming against Leshrac, you don't get the free win that you had against Ember Spirit previously.
No, there's a lot more ways for Leshrac to actually fight. Anti-Mage doesn't like to get hit 3 times for free. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And I really like that. Maybe also has decided to go for the Lightning. Because, is Edict really going to do much against AM? As Nisha almost actually died there. If he copped a stun in 2 hits.
The lightning damage is still really low, and it does mean you won't have Edict when it comes to pushing the towers.
Yeah, but that's okay too, because if you just bully the AM out, that's the That's the point of this lane, right? You saw Ame originally start heading here.
Yeah.
And then
Look
he's
at
like,
Nisha.
wait,
He's
no.
just trapped right now. Zai's going to get a little low. But we're still looking for another Fissure into stun that could finish off Nisha. That's why Yapster is going to come in.
He needs
Rescue his carry player.
He needs a salve really badly.
The courier will be able to deliver us.
It never feels good to be able to just be forced into buying regen nonstop as your net worth. So that's exactly what they're going to try to get him to do is he's actually going to pop the Tango.
So our top lane is the Furion matched up against Puppey in mid 1, the Monkey King and Witch Doctor respectively. They're going to turn around, get a paralyzing cast, actually bounces back to him somehow. Chalice was barely still in range, and this means he should die here to the final swing of mid 1. That's going to be first blood. Oh, barely gets away. Jesus. Nisha really pushing it to the limits there. Got as much mana out of that Leshrac as possible. Blinks back just in time to escape death.
It's not even that bad, though. Maybe he's doing perfectly fine. He's hit every stun, by the way.
Another stun, another follow-up from the Fissure, and very little Yapsor can do to stop all this harassment on
Let me
Nisha.
say, he's literally hit every stun on him. And Nisha's got to be careful here. He's just dead.
Okay.
He was not careful. He was like, well, I'm fine. 2 levels of lightning at 100 HP is going to kill you.
What was his build? The AEM? Does he have 1/1/1?
No.
No, he's got no levels of spell shield, so he's got no magic resistance whatsoever.
He just died.
He just died. Nisha, a little pissed off that he just died here, immediately blinks onto maybe, tries to burn a bit of mana. Make his lane easier somehow. Witch Doctor's actually going to wrap in here. So while Yapsor is keeping FY away, the Witch Doctor, Puppey's going to show up, does manage to get the paralyzing cast, but without any mana, maybe doesn't actually take that much damage from the right clicks of Nisha, so he will survive through this Maledict. He'll be a little bit low for it, though. So it looks like he's going to try and pick up that 4-minute rune to refresh his bottle.
If this is a regen or an arcane rune, they're so tilted.
Oh,
Okay.
well, they still got the rune, and they still managed to fill up the bottle. And I feel like that's the real important part for LGD. Chalice in trouble, good body blocking there from Puppey. Now follows up with a paralyzing cast. No bounces, but still with a Maledict and Boundless Strike. Chalice is going to drop dangerously low. Now Xnova, well, he's not going to try and stop it because he has no spells that can stop it when he's got no levels of the magic immunity.
Much better laning phase from Secret this time around.
Yeah.
That's why last game, remember when we were watching the game, I was advocating for the Monkey. Like, I feel like it fits their playstyle. It's one of those things, it's a hero that can transition as a core, but also, you know, you can just fight with mid one. Like, he's the type of player that can just go around and make plays happen.
Same thing with, like, Ember Spear, right? That's why he looks so good on that same hero.
Yeah.
Same kind of style.
At bottom,
Ame takes a little bit of damage, has to wave form back here. But he still
Bounty
has
runes.
plenty of regen to work with.
time.
Bounty runes
Yapsor's
are
gonna get
coming up.
one.
Yapsor snags up one. FY can't stop Yapsor from getting the other. That'll be 3.
FY had to have known that was going to happen, though.
Yeah.
Also, FY, because he's devoted so much time towards this mid lane, is only level 1 so far.
That is pretty crazy.
It's paid off in the sense that, like, they were able to slow down the anti-mage quite a bit, but, like, you know, level 1 Earthshaker, anti-mage will eventually catch up.
Mm-hmm. Good stun onto Nisha.
He has hit, I think he's perfect right now. Maybe he's missed one that we were watching for a sec, but every single time that I've looked, he's hit it.
He's taken a lot of harassment damage from this Sand King, but he's got a big CS lead. 30 and 19 compared to the 18 and 2 of the Sand King. I think a lot of that is all that mid shenanigans pulled the supports away from being able to help out the Sand King, and Sand King just on one-on-one against Morphling is not going to win that. Mid one trying to jump in, is going to be able to get on top of Chalice again. This is the only real downside for LGD's lanes right now, is that Chalice is suffering, dying multiple times to mid one, who's currently free farming as well, 30 and 27.
Yeah, both carries are not really going to get touched. Good news for Secret, though, is that they were able to actually pick up some kills on the Monkey King, whereas LGD haven't been able to do the same to Zai, who's just pulling out the side lane, farming it up with the Sandstorm. It doesn't look like he can necessarily stop that quite yet, as the Sentry looks like
Fisher out, but there's going to be the paralyzing cast to be able to stop the follow-up stun. Look at that, they telekinesis him onto the other side of the Fisher. The same Fisher that was supposed to kill the AM helps instead to block maybe in his doom. Puppey will pick up the kill, and Nisha will head back to base for some regen.
That's what it's going to take, 3 heroes, then that's what you do.
All that to try and secure Nisha his lane.
I mean, your real win condition in this game is not the Monkey King, despite him having a very good lane. It's going to be the anti-mage. The cool thing about heroes like AM and Spectre are they're like this all-encompassing hero that you know the condition lies
Fisher
on them.
block in. Midwan needs to be able to hide in the trees. He actually does have his ultimate, though. He'll be able to pop this now. Gets the extra armor.
turnaround.
Also gets the boundless strength. That's going to be able to kill one support. And X-Nova is going to limp away very low. Midwan will be able to catch the other one, too. That's a double kill for him. What a big turnaround. A 3 against 1 that Midwan turns to his advantage.
It was the Oracle not being able to burst him with the second level appearing flames.
Yeah.
It just ends up healing him so much.
2,000 net worth lead for Team Secret. Do you feel like they tempered some of their greediness from the previous drafts?
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's always like the crazy balance of being on Secret is you never know like how greedy it's going to be.
Yapzor. Fisher's going to come out eventually here, or maybe not.
Yeah.
Yapzor managed to juke long enough, so instead they're going to go for Puppey. As the Fisher block, gets it pretty solidly. Puppey, no way out here. Just turns to get whatever damage he can. Midone is actually going to jump in here, trying to go for FY. Gets 3 stacks, Boundless Strike to be able to finish out that Jingu Mastery, and goes back to lane with that extra lifesteal he now has.
Mm-hmm. This match, though, very important for both sides, because whoever loses will get called garbage despite them taking games off each other. Everyone will forget about the other 2 games. That's my favorite part of best of 3s. You know, whoever ends up winning was just right. Doesn't matter what the context is. You can stomp game 1 like Secret did.
For the next like 5 days, you're gonna get called garbage, and then you make your way all the way back through the lower bracket to beat them in the finals.
What have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
that's my favorite. It sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but it's not, because that's how it should be, right? It's like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, you don't get to just rest on your laurels. Look at OG. You don't get to just win TI and then come back be the most dominant team in the game. That's for sure.
Oh, that's
good burrow strike from Zai from low ground to high. Helps them get the kill. Secret just pulling a lot of numbers together. They are willing to group up, it seems, to be able to make these lanes go a little bit better for them. Zai now running into FY. It seems like this grouping up, now rotating Zai and Midone together to bottom lane. It's working out incredibly well, getting multiple kills. Now being able to force Ame back. Ame's actually going to turn into a Sand King here. Burrow Strike gets Burrow struck, though. Turns back into a Morphling. Fights back Zai as well as Midone. Maybe it's his turnaround as Ame is going to go for it, and it does actually burst down the Monkey King. Zai is quite low, doesn't actually get spotted inside the Sandstorm, has to make his way out of here, though. Gets hit by the stun of Ame, followed into the trees. Zai low on HP, low on mana, but PSG.LGD are not willing to pursue.
I'll take that.
7-3, a good turnaround for LGD, sort of limits the advantage that Secret had, especially being able to get more bounty runes. How many bounty runes did they get?
Secret picked up 2 of them.
Okay.
LGD picked up 2 of them.
Jeez, Puppey still managed to get 2 of them. Huh?
It always throws me off, like, when people bottle them.
Oh, yeah, because there's an
It looks like
line
it's
in
2.
chat.
Yeah. But no, you got to pay attention. How much farm does Anti-Mage have? Honestly,
Not much.
This game just comes down to, like, does Nisha get a lot of farm? If
Yeah.
so, they can win this game, no problem. Because you don't want to play against, as Leshrac, against an Anti-Mage. With, they don't really have BKB piercers. Is the problem. Oh.
Maybe he's dead again, and you know, I said Nisha didn't have much farm, and I think that's kind of true, but maybe he has less.
Yeah.
He's died so many times now that his mid lane advantage that he once had has just crumpled and fallen apart. Fortunately, LGD is making the most of it, currently taking this bottom tier 1 tower.
Their real core, too, though, is Morphling.
Yeah.
Like, Leshrac will put out damage no matter what. It's the same thing as Monkey King. Like, Monkey King was always going to be a really good core, just especially for a team like Secret, because he needs so little to operate. Like, realistically speaking, what do you need? Diffusal, BKB, Echo Saber and you're one of the best heroes in the game.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for Leshrac. Like, you don't really need a ton of items to be really good in this game in particular, but they're going to need to speed up the timeline a little bit because I don't think you want to go later and later into these cores that don't have natural counters. Plus, like, once they do get BKBs, it's really hard, I think, for...
Wait, who wants to speed up the game?
I think LGD wants to speed up the game. I think that Secret are just going to keep doing the mid-1 show, hop him around on the trees, get
Boundary
kills.
strike, stun, X-Nova. Trying to get away, he's dead.
Yeah, just keep doing this. This is what I wanted last game. I know I kept memeing with you. I was like, they need to pick Monkey King or they lose. And then they last picked Alk. And you're like, is it a good Monkey King game? I was like,
oh, Zai. How you just do that to Ame?
Morph players all deserve it. Let me just say.
They're all so greedy.
They're all so greedy.
They're all greedy.
You guys all want to stick around at like 50 health, like no strength. Well, sometimes that just happens.
Sometimes you just die, and look at that.
Sometimes you just straight up get...
Ame dies bottom. They get a tier 1 top as well for Secret. So you're pretty convinced about this. You don't think Morphling can win this late game?
I kind of feel like I sort of feel like the Anti-Mage plus Monkey King, like, and they have a lot of disable.
Yeah.
It's a sick Rubik game too.
Yeah, it is.
Only has good stuff to steal. I can't believe that happened though. I love it when morphs die like that though. You know who's the biggest guilty offender of this? It was like
I know
Ramses.
Say Ramses.
Ramses against Alina's.
When Ramses just farming up jungle at 500 HP and Alina shows up and just
Laguna Blades and walks away. The one hitter.
That was probably the worst performance of Ramses I think I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, for sure. But no, it happens to every morph at some point, guys.
Yes.
Like it happened to Anna yesterday where he just died to a creep. Morphling.
10-3. A very large kill lead and a pretty big net worth lead for Team Secret too. As this Animage has now gone into full farming modes. Mid-1 staying ahead despite running around and just trying to get kills. He's successfully getting those kills and his net worth continues to increase.
Ames almost got Battle Fury cap. Like he's not that far away from it.
Yeah, that's scary.
Despite the fact that he just straight up got solo killed. Like, of course there was help from the Earthshaker earlier, but that solo death is on him. He just sort of walked around and got lightning strike and killed.
It's scary because the NEM has already climbed his way up the net worth charts through all this. That's just going to speed up exponentially once he gets the Battle Fury, then the Yasha. 15-minute bounty runes are coming up. Secret. Yapsor is going to be in trouble here. Held in by X-Nova's Purge and then followed up with a stun of the Leshrac. And they'll use that pick off to secure the bottom bounty runes, it seems. But Zai does have his Blink Dagger. And he almost has level 2 Epicenter too. Which is, I feel like a pretty important level for Sand King to give him the solo kill potential. Ame actually did get the top bounty rune as well, so that's LGD grabbing 3 this time around.
Excellent.
Oh, he's going Maelstrom. Interesting. Oh.
I mean, you can't really go Battle Fury builds. You want a Diffusal, right?
I want a Diffusal. Oh, you're just dead, X-Nova.
Yeah. He's going to save himself with his ultimate, but don't think that's going to do a whole lot. The False Promise is going to wear out.
The fire is real strong over his head.
Yeah. There is a big push from LGD, though. Look how fast they almost took down that tier 2. The Glyph starts delaying it. But it doesn't look like anybody from Secret's really going to stop this push. Puppey shows up, paralyzing cast, but the tier 2 is still going to fall here. The rest of Secret running into the mid lane are going to be able to catch Ame here. Get the Jingu stacks up. Held him up with a telekinesis as well. Ame's been burned out of most of his mana. It pops the magic stick charges and will be able to waveform away. So Secret, they lost their bottom tier 2. The hope was that they were going to be able to get a kill mid and take the mid tower. Not possible, it seems. As PSG.LGD aren't going to be able to formulate a strong defense over this mid tier 1. Even if they're 2,000 net worth behind, they do have quite strong team fight. They got to watch out for Zai, though. Zai with his Blink Dagger, level 2 Epicenter. That's a lot of burst damage, especially when maybe has not had the greatest game, does not have a huge amount of stats right now with just the Yule Scepter.
Yeah, but the Yule is going to be really nice against the Sand King too.
Yeah.
Just so he can stave off some of that burst, as they're smoked up, making their way right now to mid one. And if he gets Yule Sceptered up,
Yule Scepter to lead things off, follow up with the Sun. Look at that, the setup by the Purge from X-Nova. It does mean that, okay, there goes the burst damage.
Don't worry, man.
They missed a little bit of it, but
they were killing him.
that Wrath of Nature comes through. A huge chunk of damage. And Secret, all of a sudden, only 1,000 net worth ahead now. 17:03 is our Battle Fury timing for Nisha. Only 14 seconds faster than the average.
It's not bad, though.
It's not bad. But Team Secret's also an above average team, so it does go to show that Nisha's farm was...
And look at that, Ame's, or maybe he's #1. Well, he was for like 2 seconds. But he's still very good in net worth.
Nice job being able to get off Magic Immunity as best he can, but in the end, it is too much for him.
I do like, by the way, that Zai decided to go for the Blink instead of like the tanky run-at-you build.
Yeah.
I think they need catch this game. He doesn't really need the ability to like tank up or anything, because his anti-mage is just as strong of a core to be able to follow up with him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to frontline as hard for them.
Same goes with...
Monkey. Yeah. I think that sometimes I feel like people blind follow builds. It's like, you don't always have to go for that tankier build. As bottom lane, everyone's got to be careful. But
oh, FY. Mid one jumps right over the top of him. Doesn't want to go for the kill, though.
I think because he doesn't know where everybody is. So he's a little bit concerned, and he was hopping in and out. He got vision. FY correctly scared him. If you see this Earthshaker, it's like that thing, you know, when bear's charging at you, you hold your ground.
Mm.
Is that like really advice? Like I hope nobody actually gets in trouble because of that.
I mean, it depends on the bear. Grizzly bears, you play dead.
I see.
Black bears, when they charge you, they're really just bluffing, so you stand your ground.
Oh, okay.
Grizzly bears make business. Ame. Oh, gotta back up. Nisha didn't have enough burst damage. They tried it with the Epicenter and Nisha jumping in, even the Mana Void being used, but all of it was not enough to get the kill on Ame. Apparently he learned from earlier not to put himself too far in agility. Chalice just getting some really good aggressive vision down. That's a great ward spot that he just got there. That's going to be able to spot any heroes farming up Ancients. I'm not sure if PSG.LGD is planning on getting aggressive soon with that kind of ward. Bloodstone being worked on for maybe? Quite surprised we don't see that Diffusal for the Monkey King. Is it because he has an AM?
I guess.
Are you incentivized to burn mana to get better mana voids, or not burn mana so he can
do more damage?
So that AM could do more damage.
It's really confusing, right?
Yeah,
because I figured Diffusal would have been perfect this game.
Yeah, dude. I mean, especially with Leshrac. You're never going to burn all of Leshrac's mana. Chalice is going to be in some trouble here as he gets caught in bottom lane. X-Nova tries to show up to save him. Tries to get off the false promise, but Zai was perfect with the Burrow Strike. Stopped that ultimate from going off and gets the kill on the Oracle as well.
I love it. It's just like, well, okay, I have a reason. It's for the Treants.
Ah.
Yeah.
Better wave clear against
better wave clear.
Furion. Okay.
Makes sense to me. But I do think Diffusal would have been sick too.
Yeah.
Like, either option I think is fun here. Because realistically, like, AM is fast enough around the map that he can farm up the lanes for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to check out?
Nothing, William. Don't talk about it. Just got to remind myself of Oracle's terrible-ass spell names. Fate's Edict! Come on, man. Oh, Zai is going to be able to catch Chalice here. The Fissure kind of separates the two, but Chalice has already taken up too much damage. He's going to fall here. Simultaneously, they were pushing in the bottom lane and did manage to get that tier 1 tower for the AM as well. So Nisha got himself a pretty big bounty. He's now 1,500 net worth ahead of the Morphling. Secret as a whole is 5,000 net worth up.
I don't think this net worth thing gets better either. There is something about Nature's Prophet. Like, I think he is a straight up great hero.
Yeah.
Tier 1 for sure. But if you're behind on him, you're not team fighting. They're going to go in.
An Echo Slam straight up. They're just going to blow everything they have to be able to kill mid-1. He's one of the biggest team fighters now. They could just run over the rest. His Puppy's going to be caught inside the Sprout. He's dead. Last second, he throws out the paralyzing cast to make sure there's not too much of a pursuit as his allies retreat and Team Secret.
That was a disaster, Kev.
Yeah.
He hit the perfect Echo and Zai just whiffs on the stun. Oh, that made that fight so hard. I was about to say, like, the problem with NP is you don't have a team fight skill set. Not really. This hero relies on being quite ahead. He's like a mini Alk in that regard. But if you're not ahead, you get put into these like weird positions where you have even net worth, but you don't actually have skills that can fight. You don't come with the stun. Your ulti is very like... you use
his
it
ultimate,
to, like,
to be fair, his ultimate is a lot better in team fights than he used to.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
much heavier burst damage,
But it's just not reliable.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way to put it. You're not 100% you're not 100% counting on it.
yeah.
And so when you're behind with NP, then it naturally just becomes like, I'm going to rat a little bit more. But I do like how Chalice is building this, deciding to go for the Hex, because he realizes, like, I'm a hero. I farm well, but I come with no disables or anything like that, so let me just try to fix that problem up real quick.
And this will help catch these there are 3 mobile, hyper-mobile cores, Sand King, Animage, and Monkey King. Now, they are behind this Lashrak, so they're going to try and save him here. The Fisher actually keeps Lashrak in position. They're going to go for the False Promise quickly onto this Lashrak, but there's so many secret heroes, and none of them are really dying to this magic damage. It looks like this Lesh will get blown up. 3 dead from LGD. They did not bring 5 heroes up to that top lane, instead trying to go for a split push. And they do successfully get the mid-tier 1 tower off of the Furion, it looks like.
Yeah, this was pretty important, but like I said,
hefty cost.
fighting 5-on-5 is going to be really hard. The only reason why they won that fight at bottom was because FY's reaction time was like the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
That was insane. The fact that he was able to blink through Zai's blink stun, get the Echo onto the Monkey King, they burst him. But in situations like that, it's going to just look where AM is dominant.
Witch Doctor? Dead. And, oh, look at that. Ame turning into the Monkey King to be able to get the Boundless Strike long range onto mid-1. That was a great pickup for LGD.
Yeah.
That'll help rectify that loss earlier in that top lane, that's for sure.
Question is, can you kill this anti-mage?
Well, it's not going to be easy if he finishes this Scotty. Already has one of the ultimate orbs. And you give him another 2 minutes or so, and he will have that Scotty. And then they're so reliant on burst damage. Earthshaker, Morphling, Leshrac. That is not like heroes that focus on long sustained team fights so much. They just want to be able to burst somebody down. That AM's not going to drop bottom lane. Look at the jump in from Zai with the illusions out from the Animage. They'll make short work of Chalice, who's had a rough go of it. And now X-Nova's dead as well. Zai cancels his TP, realizing that support could not handle the illusions. Maybe he's going to try and go for Zai here, but is he going to die to the illusions as well?
Oh my god.
LGD, what's happening?
Don't do it.
Don't lose like this.
Zai's just set up camp in the most obvious area of all time. And, like the sirens in the Odyssey. They're just kind of walking.
They're just lured in.
There's just the song of the siren. They're beautiful. I mean, Zai's beautiful, so I understand
their mind
it.
goes blank. They're just nothing but this Swedish god. They just walk towards him.
The sailors are dropping off one by one. What was that?
That was a disaster. Jeez.
He sat inside the sandstorm. He's like, whoa, I didn't realize he was dying in like 2 seconds. He has the sandstorm DPS.
So his 14-second faster Battle Fury is turned into a 7-minute faster Scotty. The jump into the back line. Chalice is dead. Once again, FY has already been neutralized, controlled up by Yapzor. It just seems to get worse and worse. And now X-Nova, okay. He tried to go for the disarm onto Nisha, but he actually turned it around on the Oracle so he could keep on swinging. The Fate's Edict not here to save the Oracle today.
I'm pretty sure Secret should just go for Roche. And the game would look the exact same right now.
Yeah. Ame, Lincolns will help protect him, but not enough. There's so many disables coming his way. Telekinesis is enough to finish him off. And now Nisha jumps forward onto maybe as well. This game just turns on a dime so quickly. Secret go from biding their time to now dominating LGD inside of their own base underneath the tier 4s. LGD has not had 5 heroes alive for the last 2 minutes.
I can't believe that
Everybody
bottom lane.
keeps on getting picked off and dying.
Would you guys, who would like to walk into the sandstorm next? That. So at least we figured out what team everyone's gonna flame. You know, it was a back and forth affair. Game 1, game 2.
Yeah.
One team is correct. History only cares about the winners, folks. That is what Dota has taught me, and right now that is about to be Team Secret.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of room for flame here. LGD did not lose in the most graceful of ways, Blitz.
They did not, Cap.
And this was a fine game up until about 5 minutes ago.
That was crazy. I just saw like 4 people walk into a sandstorm and just pass.
Ame's going to go for it, trying to kill Puppy. Doesn't actually have enough burst damage. Now telekinesis, he's out of mana. False Promise goes down. That's why Nisha immediately just turns and kills up Nova. He blocks back the spell to stun Ame with his own shotgun. And now Nisha is going to try and run him down. There is going to be stun from the Leshrac to make sure that Ame gets home safely. He did have a mana void up for Nisha, but did not want to blink forward and throw the game. Instead, wants to finish off the second lane of Rax.
And this is all without the Aegis. This is when you know you're ahead.
Yeah.
When Tier 1 teams are playing against each other and everyone just forgoes Roshan and no one cares about it whatsoever, that's how you know that the game is largely wrapped up.
The decisive victory. Secret just recognized that LGD made one too many mistakes and decided to quickly end it, or at least force it to a pretty inevitable conclusion. As 2 lanes of Rax down, it's going to be very hard for LGD to come back from this 22,000 net worth deficit. A fresh BKB on mid 1, plenty of items that's going to be flowing in for Team Secret, including that aforementioned Aegis.
They're finally going to get it now, and I feel like this is more of an afterthought. Like, well,
yeah,
the game's over.
I guess we have to.
Let's just kind of do this.
Lincoln's for the AM, mid 1 hopping around in trees, just making sure that no one from LGD is going to dive into the pit and upset the current balance. Fisher, mid 1, Echo Slam as well. He does get picked off, and they also find Yapsa or Chalice. Not feeling too confident about that as they heard the Roshan go down. They're going to try and retreat, but Chalice is not going to be so lucky. The Yule Scepter from Zai able to stop him, Burrow Strike to make sure AM has his way.
Zai, by the way,
for Chalice,
he's building a nullifier. Just makes everybody's life harder.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe like X-Novas who, you know, it'll prevent him from using his wand.
This is where you see the desperation plays of really good teams, is when you have somebody just waiting to cut the creep wave because you know you can't stop the enemy if they 5-man into that last lane of Rax.
For the straight up 5-on-5, it's just done.
Yeah.
By the way, absolute special shout out to Zai this game. 5-0 and 16.
Oh yeah.
That pickoff that he got on on Ame bottom, I don't know if I want to call that a pickoff. He just kind of stunned and right clicked him once. And
he just casted his spells.
The Sandstorm Trap, I mean, apparently it's got some weird magnetic pull where everybody just wants to walk into it, but
remember
they did.
When Sand King, when it was channeling and he did that little dance?
Yeah.
It was like Zai himself was doing a dance to lure
He just swayed them in with his hips.
Those hips don't lie, man.
They don't. I mean, LGD walked in one by one. They felt it. This game, I don't know. There's just not a whole lot that you can do as LGD because you can't straight up fight them.
FY tried to cut the creep wave, and he did for the most part. One little creep limps on, but there's nobody else to be able to collect the follow-up creep wave.
I straight up thought that Yapsor was going to deny that creep for CS, like for gold. That'd be the most Yapsor thing I've ever seen.
Instead of getting it to
the break.
The backdoor protection. Mid lane's also pushing in, so Secret can easily go high ground any other way. Level 25 on Nisha as well.
You got the Lincolns, by the way, so that you can't just steal the... You can't just rub it.
Oh, Immediately, Burrow Strike, Nullifier
Nullifier.
onto the last track. He's going to be in trouble. Mid one takes that time to get off the Wukong's command. Fortunately, there was a small little gap where Leshrak was able to get out of that Wukong's command. Fisher block in. Oh, backline immediately. The AM tries to go for the Oracle. Doesn't actually get it. The epicenter jump in from Zai. Big amount of burst damage. That'll be enough to finish off the Morphling, as well as go to the backline and grab Chalice. Nobody has buyback here on the side of LGD, so it's just FY and maybe.
Oh, mid one's dancing on him.
To just watch.
He's dancing on him.
Styling on PSG.LGD. That's a different kind of dance. That is not an entrancing one.
Look at that. The
That is
GG.
an
He's pinging
infuriating
himself. He wants his team to know what's going on.
What a way to end the game. LGD, they did manage to push it to a Game 3. They won that Game 2 pretty cleanly. But this Game 3 was only sloppy by them. And Secret, I mean, it was good performance by them. They capitalized on the mistakes very well. I mean, we were talking about like, oh, they should Roshan at this point. And they're like, LGD, we've picked them off so many times, we could just go high ground right now. It'll surprise them. We'll get another 2 kills. And we'll get lanes of racks.
After the bottom play happened, I think everyone just was like, yeah, this game is done. I think both LGD and Secret knew, all right, guys, this one was a good one. We'll see you later on in the bracket. But very well done by Secret. Like, all jokes aside, we did... I mean, LGD put up a very good game too. They showed some holes in Secret and how to push them in a series. Felt like it was a relatively clean performance, though, by Secret in game number 3. They dialed it way back. They were like, let's just keep things standard.
I think that's the important thing. Is this is why Secret's such a good team, is that they do give you so many looks, as you like to put it. And this was the look of, hey, you beat our greed. Good job. But now we're going to take it to you. Now we're actually going to play a faster game and beat you at that pace. So Team Secret continued to be one of the favorites of this tournament as they move on in the upper bracket. We'll see more of PSG LGD in the lower bracket as we head to the panel.